Wicked Ned, just stacking them up a little bit here. One Romeo Crossfire's got into the race, 3 Slingshot Sam is staying on, but it's going to be Wicked Ned.
Well, a very good evening. We've made it to the northeast. We've made it to Newcastle for Gone to the Dogs Live for a fantastic doubleheader. The Time and Nutrition Northern Flat Final, backed up by the Archangel of the North. Joe Cornelius alongside me tonight. Danny Jackson, by the way, not here. You probably worked that out by now, but she will be back for home. But good to be with you, Joe, this evening. And we know the passion that the northeast and the people from Newcastle and this surrounding area have for greyhound racing.
Certainly, Darryl. Good evening to yourself. Good evening, everybody at home, wherever you're watching. And yeah, I'm delighted we're here, Darryl. You know, we've been going now for just under a year. We had to get up here. We had to get into the northeast. It's such a passionate environment for ground racing. Sunderland, Newcastle, Star Pelor. You know, it's such a passionate place for ground racing, so we had to come up here and show them. I'm glad we're here, and we've got 2 fantastic finals to showcase as well.
And we've got a wonderfully historic race, of course, in the Northern Flat. Ironically, on the day that Greyhound Racing celebrates its birthday.
Yes.
99, so looking good, actually, at 99, and we'll talk about that as the night unfolds. But this is a race with a history that goes back almost as long as the sport, but it's not been here for that many years. I think 4 runnings at Newcastle previously.
Yeah, 4 years, and I think Tom's won it twice. He's triply represented tonight as well, Tom Hilbron. Last year won, of course, by the superstar that is Wicked Ned, who is off to Shelbourne tomorrow for a trial ahead of the Irish Derby over there. So, yeah, look, it's a competition steeped in history. We've got a brilliant home for it now at Newcastle. It's the 5th year running tonight, and we've got a brilliant final. The trophy will be staying in the northeast. Just where is it?
Absolutely. Let's have a look at the races we have for you this evening. A full card headlined, of course, by the Northern Flat, the Angel of the North. They are quite rightly at the back end of the programme tonight. We'll be working our way up towards the features. But we've got Bitches final, we've got a standard final, we've got a puppy final in a few minutes. All looking at an 895 metre Super Stayers race as well.
Yeah, I wish it was called the Marathon, which is what it is. Super Stayers be quite deceiving, because there is another 6-bend trip over there, the extended. For Super Stayers, it's 895. It's 2 laps, £895 to the winner. So brilliant prize money put up by Ark as well. So, and an intriguing contest as well with Seleucus Beliza. But we'll come to that a little bit later on. We'll show everyone in a minute, Darryl.
Okay, he's drip feeding a little bit of information, but we're going to find out a little bit more about your selections tonight, Joe, because it's all about trying to get winners, and these are Cornelius crackers this evening.
They are. The Nap, I'm going against the boss, Carol Weatherall, in the marathon with Frankton Ivy. I'm going to be with Seleucus Beliza just on that run at Toaster in the Durando behind All Right Patricia in front of Ballymatt Taylor. It's a bit of a drop in class tonight. We don't know whether some are going to stay. I do think Frankton Ivy will stay at her own pace. I just think Seleucus Beliza can get loose. Jack Tavern Chief was ungodly in the semis of the Northern Flat last week, stumbling and not being beat too far for qualifying back in 3rd. And then through the card as well, Clona Rice, interesting runner. Cornker couldn't finalist in Island Reese.
Well back today, Joe.
Very well backed as well today. Stone Park Hoffer against the national sprint winner, Niels Furnival, and then the 2 finals. I'll put up Killiford Hannaford Ground Racing UK at 33s. I'll put up Deliverer at 14s. We're sticking with Darryl.
Yeah, I'm going to be with you with Deliveroo. A lot of people will be, of course, with the one there, Droop is booking. But let's have a look at the other naps tonight. So you're with Seleucus Beliza. We've only got to wait, 20 minutes or so for that race. Ashley's gone with Make It Mead in the race that follows. Jack Tavern Chief will be a strong warm order, but, you know, we'll have Nappen against that greyhound's name for more than just Topsy tonight. Monty and Webby in a competitive race for Gal. And I've gone with Coppice Sapphire in the Angel of the North because I think she can turn handy and she's strong from the 3rd bend onwards. So that's what we think. But however you're playing at home tonight, hope you are amongst the winners. So the first race this evening is the puppy final, and it's not too far away. Let's have a look at the lineup. These again are all local runners. It's a bit of the flavour of the night, and we've got a competitive looking race. Joe, Blackhouse Louis is preferred in the market, the quickest in last week's qualifying rounds.
Yeah, interesting, Darryl. This is, you know, this could easily be like an A1 round here, couldn't it? An A1 and a half round here. So it's interesting. You're looking at 28.60, 28.70 probably going to win. Is the time that'll win the race. I'm with DJ Rocket in 2. I thought ran okay behind Blackhouse Louis last week. Found trouble at bends 1 and 2. I think a reverse that form with clearance to chance a lot on the inside. But wide open, I'd have Blackhouse Louis a little bit bigger. And maybe return package slightly shorter as well. Decent draw outside if he can clear race night, Jane.
I guess the question is whether Blackhouse Louis can come away as well as he did last week. That was an exceptional start. You know, can he repeat that? If he can, then he's a massive player.
He certainly is, yeah. Like we said, this is a wide open race, so it's hard to really rule out any of the 6 in here. Because they are pups, they're all going to improve, you know, naturally, and they can catch you out puppies, can't they, as we've seen plenty over the years. So, yeah, we're just thinking as well, Darryl, our first show since the Derby final, this is. First
It's
show
amazing,
back.
isn't it? It seems a long time ago now, the middle of June. Here we are, 5 or 6 weeks on, but it's good to be back. And, of course, you'll know that now we're back with Hove in a week or so's time as well. And the parade here being led by Freedom Alibi, of course, who was a bit of a star around here. We're going to see a few old favourites leading the parades tonight, so that's a nice little touch to the puppy final. 15-8 about Blackhouse Louis. Of course, the other heat winner was Race Night Jane, who very much is the unexposed runner in the field the bit. She's not been with Brian Fairbairn for very long at all.
No, she hasn't at all. And, yeah, this is an interesting race. Glengar Paisley, so the name has changed there of Race Night Jane, and we're seeing a parade now. So Chancellor goes through here for Raymond Hale. Only one run so far, and that was in the heats of this competition. Third to Race Night Jane last week. As we wait for Trap 2.
Yeah, it's going to be Dear Jet Rocket, isn't it? Into a little bit more experience in some of these. A finalist in the gym crack. I mean, there's plenty of back class for me. Whether Dear Jet Rocket is quite in that form, well, we'll find out in the next few minutes. But he's definitely got it in the book, Kenny Glenn's runner, if you go back through the records. And we're going to see 3 up in a moment, I think, Blackhouse Louis.
Yeah, just waiting for 3. Take a little bit of time here to
Take your time, pups. We've got all the time in the world. Here we go.
And here is Blackhouse Louis, yeah, winner of the heat last week, being return package by a length and a quarter for Stuart Ray. 15-8 favourite here. 13 victories, 3 victories. Only in November 23, Darryl. Plenty more to come.
Yeah, Trap 4's got a little bit of experience away Tonali for Jimmy Fennick, second in the heat. It's a little bit of a losing run, but it's got some nice sharp form in the book. A 28.80 dog back in May, which will be certainly good enough to play a leading role here, and you're getting 8-1 for your money if you're with that one.
Yeah, and Trap 5 is Race Night Jane for Brian Fairbairn. Owner, Mr. C. Armstrong as well, and yeah, 2 runs, 1 victory so far. Very lightly raced, October 23. Extremely well bred, Glengar Bay, a nice mystery.
And we'll see the 6 final return package has won the once so far. It ran the first round of the Northern Flat, came back and ran second in the heats last week for Sava Roberts on the outside. Now, let's have a look at those heats, because we got Race Night Jane, who was in 6 last week, getting the better of Away Tonali and Sir Chancellor. They were in 5-1, and Race Night Jane was able to get to the front off a good start here. Good split.
Yeah, come away well. You just see there Away Tonali just missing the break slightly, but look at the blistering pace of Race Night Jane to hit the front. Plenty of trouble in behind. That allowed then Sir Chancellor and Away Tonali to give chase. Away Tonali, after that break, has done well to get to as close as he did. In the end, 2.5 lengths. So a nice performance from Race Night Jane. 28.89 calculated on the day. The gap was closing, but still comfortable. 2.5 lengths in the end. I mean, third was Sir Chancellor on debut. A good performance, beat just over 5 lengths.
I mean, given the fact she is so unexposed coming over here, that's a terrific start, terrific run. She can only build on that. Let's take a look at the other heat, though, because this was Blackhouse Louis getting a beautiful start in 3. Return package, Dear Jet Rocket. As I say, it's whether Blackhouse Louis can do the same again.
Yeah, it was a flying start from Blackhouse Louis from this box again, which is always a bonus for connections and backers of Blackhouse Louis going forward into this race. But yeah, just found trouble. Dear Jet Rocket was in trap 1 there. Goes in 2-9. Just found a little bit of trouble between the first and second bend. I thought ran well to get as close as he did. After the return package was beating length and a quarter in the end. Had every chance in second, but the winning time was good as well, 28.86. So more to come from all 6 of these.
We've got 4 of these greyhounds split by less than a point, and the order in terms of where they figure in the betting has changed during the day. Return package was a bit bigger than the 5-2 earlier. Race Night Jane is hanging on at the moment to favouritism. Blackhouse Louis there, Dear Jet Rocket as well. It's a real trappy affair, this one.
Yeah, it's wide open. You know, one's got it to do, so chance a lot, but rule him out of your peril. Again, really well bred. Grangeview 10 Beech Grove Bell, you'd expect him to stay going forward. Beech Grove Bell was, of course, a Crayford specialist over the extended trips at Crayford, so, you know, expect him to stay in time. That just give me, I thought, give Dear Jet Rocket a decent chance to get a run at the first bend. There's plenty of early near down, as we've seen there. Blackhouse Louis, Race Night Jane flying to the corner. That doesn't always work in their favour. You know, they get there together, and their puppies, they do make mistakes. They're still very green. So, yeah, I'm going to be with 2, Dear Jet Rocket.
OK, Dear Jet Rocket for Joe at 130. It's a tricky old race. I'll put Race Night Jane up on the basis she is unexposed. She is the lady taking on the boys, though, in this Arena Racing Company Puppy Final, the first of our live races tonight. It's lovely to have you with us on gone to the Dogs Live. It is great to be back, and we are just relishing our time here in the northeast at the wonderful Newcastle Stadium.
And it's a beautiful evening as well, Darryl. The sun's shining, it's lovely and warm outside, so we can't quite see the crowd yet, as the Greyhounds are going in the boxes for our first, as we're going to head to Ian Brindle shortly, who is our commentator this evening for Gone to the Dogs. So, Ian, over to yourself. Still hear the music.
So the Arena Racing Company Puppy Final, we welcome Gone to the Dogs here to Newcastle. It's race number 3. The start is given the flag a shake and the hare is on the move. Bunny on the spin. And we're off and racing, charging out quickly. It's Hawaii Tenali as Blackhouse Lou went to the left, and it's going to be Hawaii Tenali who leads up. Race Night Jane gets the posse in behind. Trouble for Return Package, and you get much of a run. It's the Chancelot and Dear Jet Rocket are at the tail of the field. But Blackhouse Lewis got to the front, won the heat, of course. Now gone 2 lengths to the good of the early pace. Hawaii Tenali, they have cleared away from Return Package. Then we've got Race Night Jane, but off the home turn they come. Blackhouse Lou missed out, of course, in the BGBF Maiden Derby, makes amends here, wins readily, sees off Hawaii Tenali, and they were clear of Return Package.
Well, he hasn't come away as quickly as he did last week. It hasn't mattered because he's got himself a pitch. He's got down the inside, Blackhouse Louis, and he has backed up his status of being the fastest qualifier by going on to land the Arena Racing Company Puppy Final.
Yeah, and he's probably just shown there, Darryl, that he is probably a couple of grades better than Hawaii Tenali as well. He's just took a flyer and hasn't managed to go with Blackhouse Louis from the second bend. There was plenty of trouble in behind as well. Sir Chancellor Dear Jet Rocket just out the back there, but a good performance from Blackhouse Louis considering he hasn't broke. But in terms of Blackhouse Louis, the right one has come away in Hawaii Tenali, because he's always going to then show the pace to clear him. You see Race Night Jane on the outside trying to fly up, but just found trouble early on with Return Package as well. So once she weren't in front, she was going to struggle from there. But that middle speed from the second to the third bend, he's really put the race to bed there. And you know, he stayed on well. Hawaii Tenali, he'll go on to bigger and better things, but he's a nice putt, Blackhouse Louis. 14 runs now, 4 victories in there in 5 seconds, so very consistent.
Yeah, and it's what we look for, isn't it? Particularly in these youngsters. Stuart Ray, the owner and the trainer. I think Stuart's only runner on the card tonight, so that is job done for Stuart. He can pack up for the night. He's won one of the feature support finals.
Certainly has, and we've got that brilliant head on again as we see once the Chancellor moving off and just switching with Dear Jet Rocket on the run to the corner. 5 and 6 to keep a wide course as well. But down the middle of the track, it was Hawaii Tenali. Blackhouse Louis shown that early pace. Gone round in front from the second bend, and that was going to be that. You just see the trouble there, but all dogs are okay. They all finished, which is the most important thing. But a great performance from Blackhouse Louis.
Yeah, the two of them got away, as you say, pace from Hawaii Tenali, but just couldn't turn that good position into a winning run. Just allows plenty of racing room for Blackhouse Louis on the inside, and all of a sudden these have gone, 5, 6 clear of the chasing pack.
Yeah, the rest found trouble. 5 and 6 kind of come together, 1 and 2 come together and just slowed each other up, and that just allowed the middle 2, 3 and 4 just to get loose from the second bend. From there he's gone on to pull away. The middle speed was frightening. He's shown loads of speed down from the second to the third bend, so a great run from Blackhouse Louis. Good performance from Hawaii Tenali, and 6 Return Package back in third.
Look, the winner is only a November puppy. As you say, he's had a little bit of experience. He's been consistent in what he's done, but he's got age on his side. He's got another 3 months of running.
No surprise, Darryl. You're seeing the two with the most experience there, first and second. You know,
it's a great point, isn't it?
First and second, they've had 14 runs each now. They're getting used to racing. They know what it's all about. The rest is still very lightly raced, of course. So we're going to make mistakes. You know, the puppies are going to make plenty of mistakes in their careers and their future going forward. But a great performance and delighted connections as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the whipster, isn't it, with Hopsy there getting the congratulations. But Hopsy, of course, is down there to get a word with all the connections the scene, which is what we want. What this programme is all about, hearing from the winning connections, hearing from the owners and the trainers and those involved in the greyhounds that have delivered. And in terms of this first race, that is Blackhouse Louis in fine style. We'll get to Hopsy hopefully in a second to find out a little bit more.
You can certainly hear us. Over to you, Jonathan.
Racing Company Puppy Final success for Blackhouse Louis. I don't want to get in the way of Sean Reynolds, who's doing the pictures, of course, but let's have a quick word with Stuart. Your only runner on the card, successful. Great stuff, mate.
Great stuff, yeah. Lovely to win with this sire, who we owned and trained. Blackhouse, sorry. Absolutely fabulous.
I mean, your litters, your British bred litters, well known around. Yeah, they win plenty of races.
Yep, they do, without a doubt. Yep, hopefully he'll go places.
Fantastic. Onwards and upwards, and of course, your only runner tonight.
It is with only tonight. One winner, that'll do nicely.
You off now?
I'm off, well, shortly.
Stuart, well done, and enjoy. And that success for Stuart Ray, very much a British bred success, and joined by the Whipster and the crew. Back to you guys.
Obviously, thank you very much indeed. Well done to Stuart Ray. He has a winner on the board. Blackhouse Louis at 11-4 beats Away Tonali at 9-1, and Return Package claims third prize money. Now, there was an open race before we came on air this evening, and we will get to that in a second. Before we do that, got to have a word with our sponsors, or about our sponsors tonight, because they are very much keeping this show on the road, and we are saying thank you very much to Bet Goodwin, who have been backing this programme for some considerable time, of course.
Bet Clever, Bet Goodwin, proud sponsors of Gone to the Dogs.
Bet Goodwin, Bet Goodwin, Bet Goodwin.
So let's have a look at the 653, which had a little bit of a sad feel to it as well, Joe, because obviously being run in memory of Slingshot Sam, who we sadly lost, of course, having been so good in the first round of the Northern Flood a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, desperate. And we've seen second to Wiki Ned in last year's final as well. We've seen on the montage earlier. So, yeah, very sad news, and just one of them freak things that happened, Darryl. It was, you know, he was a brilliant winner in the heats, you know, and then we listened to the story, and I read the story, and just got him back out on the way home, and he weren't himself, and then it was just very, very sad, you know, and there won't be a dry eye in the house if Slingshot Shaz can do the business later on, but a brilliant performance and a fitting winner as well.
Well, we're going to find out about that fitting winner, as you say, because Brian Fairbairn, Slingshot Sam's trainer, had Slingshot Gaza in the field. Had been very well backed. This horse, this greyhound, formerly based in Ireland with Pat Buckley, and went off a warm order at 10-11.
For the second, and as they charge towards the first turn, early pace coming from Slingshot Gaza is going to get a run to the first bend ahead of Blue Zell. Then on the inside is Swift Because, followed by Loxley's Rex towards the back of the pack, Racebury Angel and Epic Rebel. But down the back stretch, Slingshot Gaza has already set sail. Four less clears Blue Zell. Then we've got Loxley's Rex who's catching the eye. Swift Because trying to run on. Then we've got Racebury Angel at the back of the pack. It's Epic Rebel, but Slingshot Gaza getting a bit tight close home, but too good for this bunch. Beats Loxley's Rex, and they're ahead of Swift Because. 3, 5 and 2 for race 2.
So Ian Brindle calling them home, and Slingshot Gaza, I guess you could say, very much an appropriate winner of this Slingshot Sam in memory maiden standard at 5-6. Was training line was Bogger Pat over there, and that's a great run, isn't it? At 5-6. Let us hear though from Winning Connections with Hobbsy.
You join me just after the presentation of the Slingshot Sam maiden standard, and Slingshot Gaza, and with Craig and Nicola Armstrong, has absolutely bolted him. First, let's talk about Slingshot Gaza. That was some performance. He's going places, clearly.
Superb, absolutely brilliant. That's his debut at this course. Obviously, he's had a couple of trials. We got him from Pat Buckley over in Ireland. The dog's in absolutely superb condition. George and Brian, the trainers, they've got all the dogs in great condition, but as you can see tonight, blew them away. So very, very happy.
And especially given what you guys have been through in the last 10 days or so with what happened with Slingshot Sam, appropriate winner, and I don't think anyone in this track would begrudge you winning that.
Yeah, listen, the support we've had from Newcastle, everyone in greyhound racing has been unbelievable. For a dog that, you know, meant so much to us, but, you know, he started a cult of people from Scotland, over 200 people in the group chats, and it's all from him, you know, and he was a wonderful dog. It meant so much to us. We're absolutely devastated. However, you know, tonight, Angel Wings on Gaza, and he got his in. Hopefully the Angel Wings will go on a couple others with Shaz in the final later on, but he's a brilliant dog, and we were devastated. But the support we had from everyone was unbelievable.
We'll have a chat about the others in a minute. Nicola, we've got a big crew from Scotland here tonight, 80 or so?
We do, yes, we do.
Have you organised all this?
Most of it, yes. Flags, toys for the kids, seating, hotels, buses, all organised, yep. It's great to see everybody coming out to enjoy it.
60 or 70 people in the restaurant with you guys?
72, yeah.
72?
Yep, 72 in the restaurant, yes. And they love it, and you can see by the crowd whenever the dogs are racing, it's amazing.
And the kids as well.
Kids love it. Yes.
Fantastic. Well, hopefully you're going to have a good few winners. Let's quickly go. Race night, Jane.
Yep, I believe Race Night Jane has got a very good chance. Did very well last week, so I would predict first or second. There's again good dogs in that race again. They're all good dogs here, but hopeful he can be up in the top two anyway. Yep.
In the puppy final, you've also got, of course, Slingshot Die and Clone Rice as well, second in the Corker Colour.
Slingshot Die is a dog that just never gives up. She probably shouldn't even be in this race, to be honest, but every time we put her in competitions, she pulls you through. Clone Ice is a dog we've got very high hopes for. Tonight, obviously, the Big Stairs Classic at Monmore in a few weeks is probably where we're really targeting, but just to give him a spin tonight will be good for the home supporters to see him and see how he gets on.
And, of course, in the Angel of the North, Shaz.
It's the Northern Flat, yes.
Sorry, Northern Flat.
Listen, 6 excellent dogs in that as well. He's got a chance. If he gets out and he leads the bend, we genuinely believe he can hold on. But Droopy's and Niocra, they're all sensitive
great race.
dogs. It is. And hopefully this crowd that's brilliant tonight can enjoy a great night and hopefully keep coming back and enjoy racing.
Absolutely special and so good that you do. Enjoy your night.
Yeah, we love enjoyment. Love it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you very much. No, you're good. Thank you very much.
Almost touch him from here, Joe. He's just across the way, and bringing a team of 70 tonight, the supporters club, and he's got strong chances. We're going to have a look at the Northern Flat. Slingshot Shaz is maybe the ground who could go to the front. I don't know how you're seeing it in the big final.
I've always said draws win races. Deliveroo for me. Look, Tom's got 3 runners in the race. Droopy's Buckham. Unanimously on Deliveroo. I wouldn't begrudge. I wouldn't put anyone off backing any of Tom's. Even unanimously on, for me, has got the most early if he does come away. And he's 5-1.
Nearly greyhound.
He is, and no one would begrudge him winning one. He's made big race finals in the past, so can he go one better era and win it? Yes, he can. But it's a local final, Darrell, but it's a very, very good final. We've lacked that little bit of quality maybe in this competition over the years. I know Wicked Ned won it last year, but that's a really strong final. Derby semi-finalists in there, big Category 1 finalists in there as well.
Let's have a quick look at the Angel of the North, because Grant's about to come out for the next race. I'm all over Coppice Sapphire. Short enough, I guess you could argue, at 13-8, and Domino Hoo-Hoo on the outside. Tom Hilbert, of course, in the 2 big finals tonight.
Yeah, I just saw whatever turn behind Domino Hoo-Hoo would probably reel her in. On with Killiford Hannah. As I said, put her up for 33s for Ground Racing UK. And I just saw that she's got a good draw on the inside. I weren't sure Coppice Sapphire could clear skid Josie Bluebell Teddy. That could pave the way for Killiford Hannah to get first runner Domino Hoo-Hoo and back runner.
Yeah, that is coming up at 9:11. That is the Angel of the North final, but they're already parading for this marathon. We're calling it a marathon. It is the 7:27. It's the Arena Racing Company Super Stayers. This over the 895. You already mentioned, of course, £895 to the winner. But what might have been missed is the fact that the second prize money is 200 quid. So, there's a nice prize for the runner-up as well.
Yeah, fantastic. 100 for the others. So, yeah, really good prize when he put on here. As we go through the parade, Seleucus Beliza in trap 1. Desperately unlucky in the Durando at Toaster last month behind All Right Patricia. A great performance going down and necking that race. Dropping class 4, but she's very short.
Yeah, listen, she was very fast in the 7:06 trial inside the clock, I believe. This is Frankton Ivy, who is the main danger. Look, you're very close to Carol Weatherall. You should be talking about this young lady.
Yeah, she's going the right way. She's only won 3 for 15, but when you see her running style, beyond the likes of Brett and Molly, beyond the likes of Inver Gary, Dahuma Princess, she's been in with very good dogs at Toaster over the 7:12 at Swindon as well, and 43:11 at Toaster is a very good run. Let's see if she stays.
3 is Knockout and Doozer, who was a little bit shorter than the 7:01 that's out there at the moment. Earlier in the day for trainer Darren Little, has got form over 6:40. It's been 7:06. This is like another extra 200 metres.
We just don't know some of these, Darrell, if they're going to stay. We know that Seleucus Beliza stays well enough in the right company. We don't know about Frankton Ivy. We don't know about Knockout and Doozer. And here's Ballycool Maggie in trap 4. The outside of 33-1. A4, A5, A6 runs on the card. Was in great form, winning 3 in a row before finishing 3rd last week in an A4. 33-1. Again, Darren, it's a matter of, does she stay?
Yeah, listen, we sound like a broken record because Jack Tavern Hussein in the 5 has also not been further than the 6 bends here at Newcastle. Still a putt, though, for Raymond Howe, 9-1, so getting a little bit more respect in the market, and was in front of Ballycool Maggie when they met a few weeks ago.
And trap 6 is Toddy Stunder. Just lost her waist slightly. She went for a really good spell, Toddy Sunder, at the likes of Sheffield, at Romford over 750. Sheffield as well over the 6 bends there. Sunderland just lost away a little bit, and also Perry Barr in the ledger as well. So if she come back to form, she'd be a big player, and she could make 8-1 look a very, very big price.
Joe, you've got to tell me, what price did you get Seleucus Beleza this morning?
She was 5-4 earlier, which I thought was
6-4,
5-4 was a good price. So look, she's 2-1 now. I wouldn't be backing at this price. She's way too short now. Look, I want Frankton Ivy to win, of course I do. I'd rather 2 win than 1. But I just thought that with the draw inside, she's got a lot to do, Frankton Ivy, on that trial. She touched every grain of sand in the trial here last week. You know, and the time suggests that 29.52 off of 4.88. I just thought Seleucus Beleza could get loose early. If she does, I know we're looking out the back, Darrell. It's a big old test here. It's a good gallop. They've got to do it twice. It's a very, very good test.
This is serious stuff, isn't it, Newcastle? And of course, we've had TV Trophy staged here in the past, and go back to 2009. Midway skipper for Henry Chalkley won the TV Trophy over this track and trip. Many years earlier, and I was looking this up yesterday because I couldn't remember, but Skirlow Champ won the TV Trophy here, but it was only 8.25.
That's a walk in the park for him as well.
Absolutely, half a race for Champ.
Would that have been on? What would that have? That was on BBC, wouldn't it? That would have been on BBC at the time, wouldn't it?
BBC days, wasn't
Sports night, yeah. Way before my time, though.
Of course it is, Joe. Well, I mean, come on, we're talking nearly 40 years ago.
And still, we talk about Skirlow Champ as the absolute freak of nature that he was, wasn't he?
And in 40 years' time, in 100 years' time,
they'll still be talking about Skirlow Champ. He is one of them dogs where you will never forget, and he's one that, you know, I'll show Remy when she grows up. Hopefully she's into racing and say, have a watch of him, and she'll hopefully be like, wow, you know. And that's what dogs like him do, and that's why he's still around today, and people are still loving watching his races back on YouTube wherever you can. He was just a sensational ground, wasn't it?
It most certainly is. Right, hopefully we're going to get something to wow over here, perhaps with Seleucus Beleza, the 2-5 warm order of Peter Harnden as we head back to Ian Brindle.
So the starter walks to the front. He's going to check them over. Happy they're facing the right way. 2 circuits of Newcastle. Brough Park. Here comes the bunny. The hare is on the move. Seleucus Beleza then the very strong favourite, and they're off and away. And as they head towards the first of 8 bends in the initial stage, it's going to be a strike. So Toddy's Thunder, who won this undercard last year, who goes round in front. Seleucus Beleza in second. Just had to check there. Knockout Does It just penned in the favourite there. Out wide is Jack Tavan Hussein, who's making ground. Then Ballycool Maggie, and trailing the tails is Frankton Ivy. Well, lots of trouble for Seleucus Beleza, this odds-on favourite. And as a consequence, Toddy's Thunder and Jack Tavan Hussein have slipped about 4 or 5 lengths clear. The favourite, Seleucus Beleza, third. Then we've got Ballycool Maggie, followed by Frankton Ivy, and at the back of the pack is Knockout Dozer. Down the back stretch, Jack Tavan Hussein looks to have seen off Toddy's Thunder. Now Seleucus Beleza is trying to make ground, had to switch wide to do so, but now is in hot pursuit of this long-time leader, Jack Tavan Hussein. Jack Tavan Hussein won an S3 here the other day. This is a big step up in class, and here comes Seleucus Beleza, going to check to the wide outside of this one, but it's Seleucus Beleza, pressed by Jack Tavan Hussein. Seleucus Beleza lands the odds, beating Jack Tavan Hussein, and staying on from a long way back was Frankton Ivy.
Oh, she made us wait, didn't she? She made us sweat, Joe.
She certainly did. Yeah, she did. She's done it well, and look, it was a drop in class 4 of what she had been facing at Toaster, and you know, in a 6-bend race and the Marathon de Durando, but she's done it well. We wouldn't want to nap at 2-5, Darrell. We'll try and say 5-4. We napped when the prices were there at 5-4 earlier. When I sent them to your son, of course, Ashley, he was in charge of our social media. He asked me for my nap earlier. It was Seleucus Beleza at 5-4, and she's had to do it well. You know, Jack Tavan Hussein has run really well. There was loads of trouble, and Frankton Ivy's found plenty of trouble, and in the end been beat about 5-6 lengths. So, you know, she's probably the one to take out the race. But Toddy Sundas took them along. We weren't sure whether they'd stay or not. There's probably 3 or 4 in there that don't stay. Jack Tavan Hussein has stayed well enough. He's just in with a decent bitch in Seleucus Beleza, who could go on to bigger and better things now over the 8 bends. But, you know, just watching Frankton Ivy finds more trouble there behind Ballycool Maggie at the 5th bend, and then, you know, gets going here. You can see that the gas is emptying with Toddy Sunder. The gas is emptying with Knockout and Dozer.
You ever thought she might not get there, or?
Here you're thinking that the writing's on the wall. It's just whether she goes inside or out. But you know, she's got the room to go inside. She's just managed to go outside in the end. Lakers believes her, and yeah, once she's pulled away, she's done it really well.
She's come to entertain the crowd in the closing stages. That's what it's all
The
about.
roar went up in air after one lap. I think they got
Did they?
mistaken for a 4-bend race. So I'm hoping they were on.
Naive.
Yeah, they probably bet trap 6, and they thought, okay, we've won there. And then they watched trap 6. Toddy Sunder just tie up at the going into the 7th bend. But yeah, great performance ahead on there. You know, they all just move off line slightly from the inside. Toddy Sunder took them along, but wouldn't stay. It's a big old test, Darryl. Big test.
Yeah, look, Toddy Sunder's run 750 at Romford, so it's been a bit further than a few of these, but ultimately there's a big difference between that sort of trip and what we're dealing with here, you know, this marathon distance. But Suleika's Beleza, the trial was so good, wasn't it? The 7:06 trial the other day, I mean, inside the track record, that was phenomenal. And maybe we thought we'd see a little bit more from her early, I don't know.
Yeah, and a sectional to go with it, 17:20 for a marathon dog. It's a good sprint time. You know, that would win D1s here. I don't know how many sprints they have here, but that would be, you know, competitive in
Yeah.
He never works like that. Of course he don't. We always see that, but, you know, 8-bend, 6-bend dogs doing good sprint times. But, yeah, she's done it well. The trial was brilliant. Even the 4-bend trial, 28:90. Her first round, it was a good run. Doncaster, 29:76. So, for a staying bit, she's got plenty of 4-bend speed that she's managed to show. She's shown more than that here. She's shown a lot of guts as well there. You know, she's had a clear run. She's had given first chase or first crack at Jats Avenue saying, but you can't fault her. She's done it well.
Yeah, look, anyone who's checking the result who's not watched the race would just go, well, it's what
She's
I
won,
expected.
yeah.
But there was a little bit more to it than that, but ultimately she's absolutely whizzing away in the closing stages and has delivered a big run, so it'll be fascinating to see what the plans are for Peter Harnden's bitch going forward. But the favourite has won, has landed the short odds to beat Jack Tavan Usain, and it was the 2, wasn't it, Frankton Ivy, for those playing the TriCast back in 3rd. I feel exhausted after that, and I was just watching it, so goodness knows those greyhounds, they've put the effort in, they've put the hard yards in. 2 to 5 favourite, 9-1 and 9-2 were the returns in the Arena Racing Company Super Stayers. Next to run them from Suleika's Beleza, and hopefully we're going to hear from Connections very, very shortly down on that presentation podium. And do you know what I like when I came here? If you walk outside, there's lovely pictures of Wiki and Ebb winning last year, previous winners of the All England Cup. There's a beautiful sign telling us that this year's All England Cup is on the 27th of December. They know how to sell the sport. Right, Gail May is part of our team tonight, I'm delighted to say, and of course, she's talking retired greyhounds.
Okay. I'm joined by Alison Waggett from Durham and District Retired Greyhounds and the lovely Brian, who we'll come to in a minute. Alison, can you explain to us how you operate and the involvement you have with the track?
The involvement with the track started, I was originally a trainer. Probably around 18 years ago, I was approached, because I was part of the Greyhound Trust at that time, to do more homing from trainers directly. Because I know a lot of them, it works quite well, and the dogs come in from those guys, come into our kennels. We can hold around 30 dogs at any one time. Dogs are all neutered, as anybody knows now, by the trainers, and all ready to go. From there, we are inviting families in, and we are matching the dogs to the families. We don't do walkthroughs. We take the information from the guys that want to visit, and then hopefully we have maybe 3 dogs potentially that they can have a look at that we've chosen to match their circumstances.
Brilliant. And in terms of actually your presence at the track, so do you bring the dogs yourself, or do you tend to do other dogs brought by other people? How does the model work?
Initially, as a homing group, we would be visiting the stadiums and doing the meet and greets as the general public came in. We are now slightly changing that. The trainers themselves have retired dogs in the kennels that they know very well. So they are then bringing them here, and they are doing that part of meeting and greeting the public for us. Brilliant. That helps us as well, because we get a little bit more information about how the dogs are once they are meeting new people, smaller children. And it works well for us, because anything that saves us time and gives us more information is really helpful.
Brilliant. Tell us a little bit about Brian.
Brian's probably been in with us for around coming up 4 months. He was originally trained by Stephen Cale here at Newcastle. He's a very straightforward boy, very gentle, walks well on the lead, he's good with other breeds, he's fine around children. He's just a typical laid-back boy.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Alison, and good luck with what you're doing, and keep up the good work.
Lovely. Thank you.
Yeah, Alison Waggett then with Gal May, and it tells you there, doesn't it? Let a greyhound race into your life. You can find out more by heading to greyhoundhominguk.com. Go on, check it out. Now, let's go to Hopsy, because a very patient Peter Harmon, I think, is down there with him.
Guy Pearce has got him.
Let's find out more.
Well, thank you, and you joined me with Guy Pearce. That was worth the journey, wasn't it?
Oh, it's made the 3 weeks, but made it all worth it. Come up here, we saw the marathon in the calendar, thought we'll enter Slick in the comp and bring her for a couple of trials, and she's needed it. Durando night, she's tired up just coming off the last and she got caught, so I thought she definitely stays. We brought her here, and it's all paid off.
She thoroughly deserves that, because Derby final night, I mean, she ran a tremendous race.
Yeah, sickened us getting picked up on the line. Really did, but takes after a mum in staying, doesn't she?
I was going to say, this is a delight for Peter, being Alice Lakers Pippi, who was such a darling for him.
Yeah, that's it. She's bred Pippi. She's got a couple more litters on the ground, Pippi has. But, yeah, it's nice. She's got a litter on the ground. She's picked some up now. And the other dogs in the litter and everything, they're all good dogs, but she's got it deservedly.
Absolutely. You've got Slick as well a little bit later?
Yeah. Once got inside the 4, but what can you do?
Guy, good luck and safe journey home. Might see you later, and well done, Sir Lakers Beleza.
Now, if you're wagering with Star Sports this evening, you will get 50% of your stake back as a free bet if your greyhound finishes second in any race here at Newcastle this evening. So that's well worth checking out, courtesy of our friends at Star Sports. I was just wondering there, introducing him as Peter, of course. I mean, there are rumours going around that, Guy is set to take charge, but I'm guessing not just yet.
Yeah, I've seen that. I think Peter said that, didn't he? That he wants Guy to take over the reins one day. And he's been a big part of the team now for a few years. And he's a young lad who's obviously getting better and better. And look, he's been taken under Peter's wing, and Peter doing a great job with him. And a massive operation as well. You think of the dogs that Peter gets through. He has so many dogs there, so a big operation. And yeah, fair play to him. And look, it's a big journey up from Nottingham where they are, and worthwhile because she's done it really well.
Yeah, now we're going to go to the first of the Bitches final. Of course, the Angel of the North comes later, but this is the Arena Racing Company Bitches final over that same 480. Your eyes are drawn to Coppice Gracie, who I guess we should talk about to start with, because this is an amazing story, isn't it, for Tony Brealey and Jimmy Fennick. Those checking the race card last week could easily have been mistaken to thinking she'd been off since March. That was correct, but it was March 2024.
It was March 24 behind Acon Felix at Nottingham in the British Bred Comp, and this is she's a really good bitch. I'll be with Droopy's niece purely on the fact that she's only had one run back, and it can take them a while. I know she led last week and got beat when she was odds on to do so, and 16.84 before that in the trials, a very, very good run. But I'll just be with Droopy's niece. She's a really consistent bitch for Angela Harrison. She's so consistent. We're going to have a look at her beating Coppice Gracie in the heats last week, when we've seen Coppice Gracie take them along from track 5. She tracked well. She's shown that lovely early pace, but Droopy's niece managed to get a good run. And from here, she's a strong runner, Droopy's niece. We see her in A1s, A2s, and she comes from off the pace to win races. So, although she's gone a good 4 or 5 lengths clear Coppice Gracie, she wouldn't be able to hold on in the end. And Droopy's niece, strong runner, would reel her in. Slingshot Die back in third, but was a good 4 1/4 lengths behind the winner. So, it looked a bit of a match on the day between these two, and that's how it worked out, just with the second favourite getting up to be the favourite.
Yeah, and that was by far the quickest of the two heats. 28.91 gives them a little bit of scope. Let's have a look at the other heat with Make It Mead, who's quickly going to take charge here for Ray Howe. We know this bitch stays further, and once she's in front, she's going to be a tough cookie to crack.
Yeah, she stays. She does stay really well. 29.23. Probably would have expected her to go a little bit quicker than that when she's got off the front, but she's done it well in the end, and she's held on in the end by 3/4 of a length. Slingshot Roxy was giving chase. Ballymat Neem. So we've got a solid final here, Darren. It's a good final. And look, if Coppice Gracie was at her absolute peak, she'd win this comfortably. But she's not. She's only had one run back, so it might take a little bit longer. But it's a really, really solid final, and they'll take her out of it. And 1, 2 and 3, there's not a lot between them in the betting there. Ballymat Neem, Droopy's niece, Make It Mead, and yeah, it's a good little final.
It certainly is. The market's taking a fair chunk out with Coppice Gracie. We'll get to her in a second again for Jimmy Fenwick, of course, has also got Ballymac Neems, who leads the parade in trap 1 here. She's not far short of being a veteran. She's an late October 21.
She is, as she comes in the parade here. 54 runs and 7 victories in there for Ballymac Neems, so 15 seconds as well. She's a consistent bit. She's an October 21, as you said, Daryl. Favourite to win last week. She finished third in the end, but the most important thing, Daryl, she's in the final.
She's been very easy to bat through the day. 7-2 earlier, 11-2 at the moment. Droopy's niece has also been a little weak. This is probably down to the money for the 6 more than anything, but again, a very experienced greyhound for Angela Harrison.
Yeah, 20 victories and 15 seconds in there. 35 place record out of 87 starts. Just shows how consistent she is.
Let's have a look at Make It Meet next, who's coming through round second in the Grand Prix. So it's got form over the 640 over at Sunderland.
Yeah, Grand Prix behind, of course, New Destiny. So, that form is solid there. New in Cloud in there as well. So a great performance for Make It Meet in that competition. It's September 22. She's in the peak of her powers now. 7 victories from 26 starts.
And a couple of slingshots coming up next for Craig Armstrong. This one trained by Brian Fairbairn. This is Slingshot Die, who's the biggest prize. No, not quite the biggest prize. 14-1, one of the 2 outsiders.
Yeah, 14-1 was a big price last week. 11-1 behind Droopy's niece. Beat 4 1/4 length. She's got a lot to do here to win. It looks between 1, 2, 4 and 6, 1, 2, 3 and 6. But no one to begrudge Craig having plenty of winners tonight.
If it gets a little bit messy, Slingshot Roxy at 22-1 will be seeing out the trip better than some.
Yeah, she stays well in graded races. Only 4 victories from 36 starts and 4 seconds. She's probably better than that, and she's got to do a lot more though to win tonight.
And here's the one they've got to beat. Trap 6 here for Tony Brealey and Jimmy Fenwick. Coppice Gracie absolutely hammered off the boards here. 5-4, I think, earlier on, and now 8-11.
And soon being veteran status as well, Darryl. November 21, so she's not too far away, but she has missed a year and a half of her career in that, so she's very likely raced still. 24 starts, 13 victories, 6 seconds. Just shows how good she is.
If you look at that run last week, as we showed on the VT, you watch that and you go, she's coming on. She's coming on a mile. The alternative stance is to think, 2 runs in a week, haven't been off for so long. I mean, they talk about bounce factors in horse racing, maybe not so much in greyhound racing, but it has to be considered. But having said all that, Joe, the fact there's so much money for her.
Yeah, she's in very good hands with Jimmy, so she's going to be fit. As you said, that bounce factor can play a part. We don't talk about it as much in dog racing as we do in horse racing, but it can play a part. She's got the most early pace in the race, Darryl. If she comes on for last week's run and she leads, she's going to take some catching. I'll just take a chance on Droopy's niece purely on the consistency of her. She's very consistent for Angela Harrison, as we know. She's a top-end A1 performer. She's running open races here, plenty, and she's won a fair share as well, as we know. But if Coppice Gracie is to get fitter than what we saw last week, she'll take all the beating.
Yeah, look, we were talking to Tony downstairs a bit earlier on Tony Brealey, and he still sort of looks back to that British Breeders' Stakes final and what might have been perhaps in his eyes what probably was going to be halfway into that final. And here we are, as a greyhound owner, you have got to be very patient sometimes.
You have, and patience is key with her. Look, she's been off the cart since, as you said, it's 18th of March. It's not 2025, it's 2024. She's been off for now 18 months near enough. And yeah, look, to get her back first and foremost is credit to Jimmy, Melanie and all the team. To get her still performing and trying to win big races like this is even better. So yeah, look, they'll be delighted that she's back. They'll be even more thrilled if she can do the business here.
Well, we're going to find out in the next 30 seconds or so. The Arena Racing Company Bitches final, £1,000 up for grabs for the winner of this contest here on Gone to the Dogs Live. We hope you're loving our coverage from Newcastle this evening. Let's rejoin Ian Brindle.
So the starter has checked them over for the Arena Racing Company Bitches final, and the hare is on the move. Bonnet spin then, Coppice Gracie, a very strong favourite in stripes. Here comes the Bonnie. And we're off and racing. Not the best of breaks from Coppice Gracie, who's going to be led up initially by Slingshot Roxy, but she shows enough pace to come through, and she's gone on. Coppice Gracie goes on from Make It Meet there in advance of Slingshot Die. Ballymac Neems on the rail, followed by Droopy's niece, who has it to do, and Slingshot Roxy, having been prominent, drops to the rear. But Coppice Gracie, she got a bit tired last week. Make It Meet is in pursuit. These two are about 5 lengths clear of Ballymac Neems, who is staying on, albeit at one pace. But it's Coppice Gracie in front, trying to seal the deal. Coppice Gracie all out, just held on. From Make It Meet, it was tight. They were in advance of Ballymac Neems. Looks like Coppice Gracie's held on, but boy, oh boy, you had to sweat late.
As we saw it last week, a run under your belt, you're going to be a little bit stronger. She's held on but only just in the end.
She certainly has just held on. You know, she's got some strong stairs behind her. We had Make It Mead, Ballymat Neames, Droopy's Niece. They've all really closed the gap from the third bend onwards, but look, Darryl, she hasn't really come away, and she's shown lovely early pace into the bend. She's drove the bend extremely well. She's just managed to get a length clear going into that bend, which has allowed her to get across there from Make It Mead. And Darryl, we said, here, look what's turning second. I know she led last week and only won 3 parts of a length, but we know she stayed. We've seen her at Sunderland in the Grand Prix final. She was always going to close the gap, but look at the running that Droopy's Niece and Ballymat Neames have done.
Yeah.
They were 7-8 lengths behind. You see them here, they're absolutely rattling home, and there's not a lot between the 4 of them when they go over the winning line, but she just manages to hold on. Fantastic training performance from Jimmy, Melanie and the team there to get her back to winning ways there, and she's won a brilliant final.
And, you know, he'll be so proud of this because, you know, when you've got good greyhounds like this, but you've had things go wrong, and gosh, I use the word patience again, but by golly, that's a long time away, isn't it?
Well, who knows what she could have been, Darryl? You know, she was in the peak of her powers at the time.
I know.
When she went lame, so who knows what she could have been. She was odds on to win that final at 4-7 as well, and, you know, that's a little consolation for them. And when you watch the head-on, she's come together with Slingshot Roxy. She's then had to come around her.
You see that even on the side,
to come around her there, she's had to go around her there, but she's got lovely early pace, and let's hope now she can stay injury-free. And if she does stay injury-free, she's going to have a still bright future. As we said, I know she's 4 in November, but she's only had 25 races. You know, so she's missed out on a year and a half of her running, so who knows what she can go and do.
She's had 25 races, Joe. She's won 14.
Brilliant.
That is how
Brilliant stride rate.
prolific she is, and so looking forward to hearing more about her as we get ready to get down to Hobsey for a little bit of reaction to this Bitches final.
Success, wasn't it? I mean, she's done extremely well.
Yes, I know. Yeah, it's a bit tearful, I'm afraid. Yeah.
I mean, that's something like she was off for 400 days.
Yeah, I know she was. Yeah, unbelievable, unbelievable. I'm so.
You certainly can. That was amazing. Yeah, let's have a chat to the guys before Gracie comes back up. Tony, emotional, I should imagine.
Oh, so emotional. Had a bad couple of weeks with other dogs getting injured, and you know, I didn't know what to expect tonight. I hoped it went really well, but the start was a bit ropey for her compared with what she's capable of doing, and she did so well. I don't know what to say, really. I'm so pleased, really, and, you know, so pleased for Jimmy as well. You know, he's put a lot of effort and time into her.
It's a testament to the work of the Fenix to get her back, and this lady behind us as well, the vet Gillian, who done an extraordinary job.
Yeah, incredible when you think.
Go get the trophy. Go get the trophy. No, fantastic effort, really, from all concerned. Coppice Gracie. I think one of the stories, given that, as you guys would have said, that her last race prior to that layoff was in the British Breeders' Stakes final at Nottingham. She looked set for victory there, and of course suffered that setback, but she is back on track, loves her racing, and I would imagine this is quite an emotional presentation here. We get another chance to have a chat with Jimmy. Gillian, can I just have a word? I mean, you have got You've got the biggest smile on your face, and I'm not surprised. I mean, extraordinary.
Over the moon, absolutely over the moon for them. She's such a lovely dog, and for her to come back from that injury is just phenomenal. To see her run so well, absolutely delighted. Absolutely delighted. I am really tearful.
I mean, Tony and Jimmy have already credited you, Jimmy especially, in terms of the work that you did, and then you pass it on, obviously, to the Fenix, and they've played their part as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, she's, I'm just delighted to be able to have helped them out and helped her. And Louis just won as well, and that's Black Harry's pup who'd had the same surgery done as well. So, yeah, just doing my job, but it's lovely to see them come back and run as well as she has.
To talk to you, of course, the vet. Yeah, no, fantastic, and great scenes here, and we've just got plenty of people around the presentation area. Well, the young lads, of course, enjoying the presentation, and we'll get a chat with perhaps Jimmy a little bit later. In fact, I'm going to dive in now across. Last one, guys. Sorry for Sean. Jimmy, special performance. I've just spoken to Gillian the vet, and she did an extraordinary job.
Fantastic job. It was hard to take that final. A bit emotional. But Back on the track was fantastic. Like I said earlier, to do our trials, she did 16.84. I thought we'll have a right good chance of getting her back into running in these kind of races again. So made a mess of the start, but excitement and what have you from last week's run probably did. Pace was fantastic. You know, held off her. Make It Me is a really, really good bitch, and going second dog, I thought, no, not again. You know, we're going to get picked up here, but she stuck to her guns and won, and great performance from the bitch. And to be fair, all I can say is, like owners, you know, waiting 15 months for a dog being off and keeping the faith. I'm so glad they did.
Well done to Tony and Mary. They didn't mind showing that sort of patience with the work that you guys have done. So well done to Melanie and to Jimmy and to Hannah and all the crew. Back to you.
Well, do you know what? They may win with Coppice Sapphire later on, but this probably means as much, if not more, to get about the 4-6 winning favourite Coppice Gracie in the supporting bitches final. Beats Make It Mead at 9-2, and Ballymacneems was third at 5-1.
Bet Clever, Bet Goodwin. Proud sponsors of Gone to the Dogs.
Bet Goodwin, Bet Goodwin, Bet Goodwin.
Quick one as well, Darryl. Any aunties may probably not watching because we know they're not going to be, but anyone with a negative spin on this sport, you see the emotion there in that race there with Coppice Gracie, what it meant to the vet, what it meant to Jimmy, what it meant to Tony, all the team. You see Melanie with the dog, with the bitch in her hands and, you know, cuddling her there. You tell me that these people don't care about these animals, because trust me, they are absolutely everything to them. They're their world, and you can see that there. Look, even the vet's in now having a bit of a cuddle, and rightly so, because they've worked so hard to get her back. Don't tell me that the people don't care about these grounds, because they really do.
Look, Tony Brilliant owns a lot of greyhounds. Just chatting to him earlier, you could sense that this was so important for him. More important than anything else, that she came through it sound at the end of the race. But to get the win, of course, is what you want, and she's achieved that. So
yeah, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant story. And look, if Jimmy doesn't have another winner tonight, he'll be delighted that he's won with Coppice Gracie.
Now, Bet Goodwin sponsor a big final that takes place at Oxford on Saturday. That is the Pall Mall. It's always a good race. And ahead of having a look at the final lineup, let's relive what happened last week.
Off racing. 608 OK. 5 gets out well though and tries to clear the field here. Ryoka Ashin gets out and leads up by over a length here to the 1, then 2, 6 and 3 the back marker. Favourites plumb last as they go through halfway, and it's the 5. Ryoka Ashin pouring it on, leads by 5 or 6 lengths here over the 1. Ginger's Prince. Bacon Roll running into third. Favourites still last and being knocked out. 5 clear here and wins well. Off and racing, away they go. 5 off to a flyer here. Union Rebel breaks away, leads by 2 lengths, clears the field. 6 second, 1 hampered in behind, 4 also hampered out the back, but 5 Union Rebel is away. 4 lengths clear through halfway from the 6 Ballinakill Liam, then 2, 3, 1 and 4 all trying to close. 5 still in front here by 2 lengths on straightening from the 2 Paradise Sky. 1's flashing home, but the 5 gets home to win. They're off, away and racing. 4 off to a great start. Crossfield Enzo then should be able to clear the field. 5 went inside, caused a bit of carnage. Approaching the first bend, Mad About Peck shortened up all the 3 to the inner, and 4 Crossfield Enzo's got away by 3 or 4 lengths here. To the 5 Mad About Peck second, 3 next, 2 got checked again when trying to run on back in 4th, then 1 and 6 up the straight though. 4 away and gone, and wins well. Crossfield Enzo.
So that was how they qualified for the Bet Goodwin Pall Mall final. That is Saturday night at Oxford. Get along if you can, 8:26, but the whole evening will be brilliant. Now, Ryoka Ashin, we know he's an absolute superstar, won the Silver Salver. Does he win again on Saturday, Joe, for you?
Not for me. I'm with Crossfield Enzo. Brilliant to see him back to his best as well. And devastating performance there, Darryl, in the semi-final, beating Madabaud Peck. How he did. You can say the same for Ryoka Roshin and, of course, Union Rebel. Look at the trainers again. Tom Hilbrock to the big final there with Madabaud Peck. Kevin Hutton's got 2 big chances. Union Rebel, 7-1 golden sprint winner. Massive price on the outside. But
I'm loving that price on the outside.
Also the story of Ginger's Prince as well. Broken shoulder blade. Back to a big final. Ginger's Prince. Fantastic for Alan Lucas and Patrick and Jay Brown. But I'm going to be with 3. Crossfield Enzo.
Good luck however you're playing time. Greyhound Nutrition, of course, very much part of this team throughout our programmes, and they are the big race sponsor tonight. New low-protein nut for high meat diet. Hobbs is very busy as ever. Let's find out who he's with now.
Will you join me with Sava Roberts? We are looking ahead to the Time Greyhound Nutrition Standard. You've got Sava, Trooper McAvoy running out of track 2. What's your chances?
Actually very slim tonight. Grand old dog won lots of little opens for the grandkids. It was named after, but I think Jack Tavern Chief looks different altogether. If it breaks level, it'll win.
He is Hobbs's Nat, but that is no guarantee, as you well know. Stone Park Hofford, good to see him back on track. He's a real star of the track.
Yeah, we took our time, had a slight niggle, but definitely came back with a bang in his trial. But just the bounce effect, as long as it comes off safe and sound, really, is really all that matters. We've got another race tomorrow for the future. That'll do me for that dog. But he's very well.
In terms of any future plans after that for Hoffer?
Definitely need another sprint to him if he comes off fine, and then possibly a trip to Monmore. Possibly.
Okay, and then Bogger Darling in the Angel of the North. Good to be in the final.
Brilliant. Nice to get one in a Class 2 final. Only puppy in the race, still a pup. Very nice. And in with a chance, in with a real chance. It's wide open.
Good buzz tonight, a good dogman's track, Newcastle, isn't it?
Absolutely massive. It's absolutely bouncing here tonight. Unbelievable. And they're all, you can see what's happening. It's absolutely rammed.
It's so important for the North East Greyhound scene, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's massive in the North East, especially nights like this. You've got the All England Cup, then you've got the Classic at Sunderland, and they all go to each track. It's magnificent tonight.
They all play their part. Newcastle, Sunderland, Star Peeler as well.
They do, There's lots of trainers from different tracks, supported the events. Some of them have managed to get on tonight, which is great. Some have got through into semis and into the finals, and it's really, really good card. One of the best I've seen for a while.
As ever, you represent them well. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Cheers. All the best. Cheers.
Always good to hear from Sava. We are working our way through the parade. There was Sava's Greyhound going through Trooper McAvoy. We'll get back to that one in a second, and Bramble Elvis, but here's Optic Pharaoh in the 3.
Yeah, Optic Pharaoh for Tom Hilborn and Kenny Glenn behind Hardwick Mighty last week in the semi-finals of the Northern Flat. Tries to take his chance here. Big price, 12-1. Was a runner in the maiden derby at Toaster as well, and the derby.
Jack Tavern Chief was expected to be in the big final, of course, but it all went wrong at the start. Compensation awaits, according to the market.
Yeah, no, that comment is right. Misbreak badly. A brother too, of course. Droop is Aladdin. He's Jack Tavern Chief Serena. Droop is Natalia. He looks a certainty, Darryl.
And Suleika's, might have gone down to spin a little bit unlucky last week as well. Peter Harmon looking for the double.
Yeah, there was a little bit of trouble in that race and just found a bit, was third behind Droopy's buckle, so desperately lucky not to qualify. Pete's looking for 2 winners out of 2. He's got every chance to do it. He's got a clear track, Jack Tavern Chief.
And the only wide runner on the outside is Jack Tavern Lad for John Flaherty, of course, is in the big final later on. What chance here?
Only a baby, August 23, so still more to come from Jack Tavern Lad. 10 runs so far, 1 victory, 1 second. Was behind Droopy's Buckham as well in the semi-final last week. Third to Holly Ogonzo in the heat start, and a good A1 win of the week before.
We should talk about the top 2. We wanted to hear from Sava, but there's track 1, Bramble Elvis for Chloe Hardy, who has won 1 race so far on a little bit of a losing sequence, but what can he bring to the table?
A lot faster than his record suggests. Now, he had a decent enough Irish form as well, which of course doesn't go on there with his UK starts. We never get that. And he had a decent Irish form. Look, he's not the dog that he was in Ireland, of course he's not, but he's got plenty of early pace when he does do it right, and 9-1 if he manages to lead. Could be a big price, but Darryl, this is all about Jack Tavern Chief, but we'll let you talk about Trooper McAvoy.
Yeah, Droopy's McAvoy, Trippin McAvoy, who was a Golden Sprint semi-finalist for Sava Roberts, is a 16-1 outsider. Why are these prices so big? Well, because they can't get enough on Jack Tavern Chief, 4-5, 8-11 this morning. You'd be happy to lock that in now. Suddenly we're playing silly numbers.
We are. I can see Hobbsy next to us here, and his nap is 100-30 on Jack Tavern Chief. And look, he's just got to come away down. If he traps properly, he'll lead and he'll win. He was so unlucky last week to still do the running he did after walking out. 4.68 sectional compared to his 4.49 the week before. Tells you how he come away last week.
If you watch that race, you can see he's moving, he's fiddling around, isn't he? And suddenly, it could have been the perfect break, and of course the split seconds.
Fine margins.
Yeah, fine margins, absolutely.
Fine margins. It really is fine margins in what they do, and it's just maybe just up and down, and he's gone up instead when the boxes have opened, and that's sad. But we've seen his early pace. We've seen it at Sunderland in the Puppy Cup final. We've seen it at Monmore in the Puppy Derby. There, he's got a lot of speed, this dog. And look, as we know, he's just got to trap, and if he does trap level, he'll lead and he'll win.
This is in effect the consolation race, isn't it? These were all semi-finalists in the Northern Flat. The market saying really Jack Tavern Chief will take plenty of beating at 30-100. If you're playing alternatively, where's the value now? Where's the each way play in this race?
Optic Pharaoh for me in 3. When you look at what he's been in with unanimously on Deliveroo, Slingshot, Sam Hardwick, Mighty in that, he's faster than 1 victory in 1 second, Optic Pharaoh. He still only had 7 runs over here as well. So yeah, I'd be Optic Pharaoh at a decent price without the favourite.
Well, they're loading away, aren't they? This is the Arena Racing Company standard in the commentary box, calling not only for us here on Gone to the Dogs Live, but also for the fine racegoers here at Newcastle Stadium, is Ian Brindle.
So Stardust come to the front, he's waved the flag, he's happy to face it in the right way, and for the Time Greyhound Nutrition Standard, the hare is on the move. Trap 4, Jack Tavern Chief, the strong favourite. Here comes the bunny. And we're off and racing, not the best of breaks for Jack Tavern Chief, but certainly better than last week. And Jack Tavern Chief will have enough pace to get round in front. Jack Tavern Chief goes on, no room at the back for Jack Tavern Lab, and there's also not much for Optic Pharaoh, drops to the tail of the field. But Jack Tavern Chief, the odds-on favourite, now 5 lengths clear of Trooper McAvoy second. Salika Slick, we know, stays, has gone into third, but just a little cumbersome round the third bend. But as they're approaching the home turn, or at least Jack Tavern Chief is, Jack Tavern Chief is going to win this quite comfortably in the end. Salika Slick runs on for second, and holding on for third was Trooper McAvoy.
Well, there it was, Jack Tavern Chief. Yes, it wasn't a ping break, but he had such a wonderful turn of pace up to the corner. Suddenly the race was his.
Yeah, he just had to trap remotely better than he did last week, and that was going to be that, weren't it? And look, he's a lovely strapping dog, ain't he? Nice white and black ground. He's got a lot of pace as well, and he's moved off from 4. He was always going to move off slightly from 4. He's been running as a wide runner in 5 and 6, and he just got blistering early speed, Darryl. Yeah, the winning time, they're giving him out, but it's very loud in here, so I just missed what he said. But
yeah, I'm struggling to hear the times, but let's just say, look, the performance was what it was all about, I guess, here this evening from Jack Tavern Chief, who had that form in the book to deliver this kind of run.
He certainly did, yeah. He's another one who's going to go on, and it wouldn't be a big surprise to see him win a competition, Darryl, a 4-bank comp. He's got a lot of pace, extremely well bred as well. Only 9 runs here and 4 victories in there in 3 seconds. He's got a lot of speed, Jack Tavern Chief. Fantastically bred, as we said. The brother to Droopy's Aladdin and Droopy's Berries as well, I believe. He's in that.
Okay, so litter, yeah.
So I think Droopy's Berries as well. So a very, very nice litter. We see there he's got the width of Newcastle to go wherever he wants when he's come away, and he's managed to clear Salika Sleep, Jack Tavern Lab comfortably. Optic Pharaoh's kept a middle cut line from there, and he's just blistering early speed. Seen him go around 2 lengths clear, and he's extended that. And a good performance for Salika Slick in second as well to close the gap and finish second. He found trouble at the bend. He found trouble going into the first bend near Salika Slick with Jack Tavern Lab and Optic Pharaoh. That allowed 2 then Trooper McAvoy to give chase. Bramble Alves had to lead to win, we know that. But Salika Slick plugged on really well there to finish second and close the gap.
Yeah, that's a nice performance again from Salika Slip, not for the first time, a little bit unfortunate perhaps, but we talked about Stuart Ray earlier on, his only run of the night. Glenn Foot's done it as well, 1 dog, 1 winner, that's all you need really.
Certainly is, the Untied Racing Syndicate as well, they're trying to do big things in the sport, and they've got some really nice dogs there, and they've got another one here in Jack Tavern Chief, and yeah, look, Glenn Foot, he'll be delighted to have a dog like this in his kennel. It's always nice to get them nice ones, and he is very, very smart.
And of course, attached to Pelor, look, we're here at Newcastle. This is a hotbed of greyhound racing in the northeast, and you know nobody forgets Star Pelor these days.
I didn't realise how close it is, Darryl. It's probably 20 minutes away. And,
it is very close. Yeah,
it's not far at all from here. So, yeah, a great little track as well. Pelor. I went past it on the train as well earlier. Pelor, and a lovely little track, and they're doing good things.
Okay, let's hear from one of our sponsors.
Bet Goodwin, proud sponsors of Gone to the Dogs.
Bet Goodwin, Bet Goodwin, Bet Goodwin.
The Arena Racing Company standards. Now, there's some younger members of the crowd in tonight, and Hobbs with them.
Right, we've got some young greyhound fans with us. How old are you?
9.
What's your name?
Lewis.
Who's your support?
Newcastle.
Okay, what's your name?
Dom.
And how old are you?
9.
And who do you support?
Newcastle!
I think we got that. How old are you?
9.
And what's your name?
Lucas.
And who do you support?
Newcastle.
And my friend, what's your name?
Charlie.
And how old are you?
9.
You're all 9. And who do you support?
Yes, come on.
And young man?
Hi.
What's your name?
Zach.
Nice one. How old are you? You're 9.
9.
You're 9 as well. Oh my God, you're 9. You play for the same team. What team is it?
Ben and Terry Roberts.
Fantastic. Who scores the goals?
Not me. I'm goalkeeper. Them two. I'm goalkeeper. I stop them. I defend them. He saves them. He connects play up and scores one shot.
Are you the manager of these young lads?
No.
Are they any good? They good players?
I don't know. I don't watch the matches.
Okay, I'm sure they are. Guys, you enjoy yourself tonight at the Dogs, and one final shout. Who's going to win the league?
Well, it was always going to turn to football in. At least he saved them from a bit of Chelsea talk anyway, so that's something.
Certainly did. We know Hobbs is a big Chelsea fan. Great to see the kids in there, Darryl, enjoying it. Summer holidays, of course. No reason to be going to bed at 8 o'clock anymore. They've got 6 weeks off. They're here till the night is young at the Dogs, and fantastic to see so many young kids in here enjoying the night as well.
And I love the young lad with the sort of white shirt and the little black and white stripes down there. You know, even when he's not wearing a shirt, you know, he
knows what he's doing.
Dressed for the occasion. 30-100 favourite was Jack Tavenchief, bigger earlier in the day. Hope you had some of that earlier on. Suleika Slick at 6-1 in second. Trooper McEvoy was third in the 801 at Newcastle. Oh, it's that man again.
Glenfoot's assistant, Ant Thompson, with me tonight. That was an impressive effort. Makes up somewhat for last week, I suppose.
Yeah, it was disappointing last week, but he's put it right tonight. He has. He's very fast dog when he gets it right, and he's improving all the time. He's only had 10 races. He's getting better every race.
He's a very well-bred dog. I mean, I think Droopy's Clue, Droopy's Aladdin, so many other great winners that have come from that line.
Yeah, he's very well-bred, he is. He's a lovely dog. Hopefully keep improving. He is.
What sort of plan would yourself and Glenn have for him?
I think we want him one more next week for a trial and hopefully go for the Gold Cup down there if all things go well.
Fantastic. And Glenn is a busy man at the moment, I understand.
He's running the show at Star Pelor, but we sacked him from parading after last week. So, we took the reins off him tonight.
Has he got a special day tomorrow?
Yeah, getting married tomorrow. Little present there.
Wow, that is a great wedding present. Jack Tavenchief, so impressive. And you're doing a great job, mate, in his absence.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, cheers.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
That's the best way to prepare for your wedding day, isn't it? The greyhounds the night before. I love that. Now, the Regent's Hickle, sponsored by Premier Greyhound Racing, takes place at Hove Saturday. We will be there for the final. Well, I'm not sure you're going to be there, are you? But the Brogo will be there for the final. But here's the lineup for the semis, which take place on Saturday. Garfinny Blaze, with the heat time, is going to be a very strong favourite. This is a Mark Wallace-dominated event.
It is. You couldn't want to be with Garfinny Blaze after the Sheffield run, of course. But what he done last week was sensational, Darryl. And, you know, great to see him back to his best. And to clock 41.45 from off the pace. It was a brilliant run from him, and he's drawn to perfection there to go well.
Yeah, he's the only heat winner, and he's going to be a warm order. Let's have a look at the second semi. You've got the likes of Romeo Empire and Vergara. Of course, Mark Wallace speaks so highly about the bitch here. This is a tough heat. Look, Art Riddler's in there with a flashy time as well. What are you thinking?
Yeah, she's got a great drawing fight with Romeo Empire edging in, and can he clear to Onabella? I like Ridley Brett and Molly. I'm not sure. She's got a brilliant draw. I think she'll win. I want to see Romeo Empire qualify, though, because we want to see the best final with him and Vega go through.
And here's the third semi, of course. This is Mongi's Wild semi-final, who got the job done last week, 41.71. Don't know whether more was anticipated. Does that give the likes of Ivy Hill Cherry? I love Ivy Hill Cherry, improving fast. Bombay Nutty Burrows Eclipse, could they have a chance?
Bombay Burrows Eclipse, for me, is the perfect dog to take him along for Mongi's Wild. You know, but he's still going to probably have 3-4 dogs in front of him going into that fifth bend, so he's going to have to track cleverly. But if there's one dog who is going to do it, it is Mongi's Wild.
Let's have a look at the anti-post market, obviously dominated by Raiders. We've got 2 wides and 3 middles. As I say, Mark Wallace, tick, tick, tick. There's plenty of Mark Wallace runners there. Romeo Empire trying to steal the prize away. I'm guessing, Joe, because the favourite is so short, that there's value to be had each way, maybe.
It is, maybe Bombay Nutty at 14-1 in that semi-final with Mongi's Wild. Garfini Blaze at 8-1, doing what he done last week. If he continues that, he looks certainty to qualify. Garfini Blaze from that draw on the inside. The rest, they should do. They've got tough enough draws. Garfini Blaze 8-1 looks a decent price there.
OK, I'm going to have my little each one. Ivy Hill Cherry in the Mongi's Wild semi-final. Now, we are indebted, of course, to our programme sponsors, including Star Sports. And here's a new customer offer that you might be interested in. It is to bet £50 and get a £25 free bet. You just use the promo code, quite simply, bet50, get 25. Now, Hobbsy is with the governor, the main man here at Newcastle, Ian Wharton.
Well, I'm with stadium manager Ian Wharton ahead of the Arena Racing Company Superstayers. Great to see a marathon on the card. Great to see it filled. Great to see £895 to the winner.
Yeah, well, we thought we'd make a real effort to fill the marathon because there hasn't been one at Newcastle a long time. So fair play to everyone, Peter Harnden, Carol Weatherall and the other local trainers who've supported it. The prize money's good for it and we've managed to fill the race and hopefully we'll fill more of these races in the future. I also want to we're going to look in the next month or two to try and concentrate on some seniors races because I think there's grounds running longer now, some good old benchmarks which people love, and I think there's an opportunity for 4-year-old grounds to run against each other in the future, so that's something we want to try and work on.
Fantastic, and I see obviously the All England Cup already advertised here, which is great, and people booking ahead. And in terms of the restaurant, I mean, we've had to come out of there, it's absolutely buzzing at the moment. Yeah, brilliant restaurant tonight. The Slingshot team obviously bring a lot to the occasion. And it's looking very likely that we're going to race with All England Cup on a Saturday evening, which will be the Saturday 27th of December. We haven't raced on a Saturday night since pre-COVID, so that'll be a big thing for the track. It should be well supported. It's always a great meeting, and I'm sure Jimmy will be trying to defend his title with Wicked Ned, but there'll be lots of people trying to beat him, and I've heard Mark Wallace told me he's definitely going to try and beat him this year, so we'll see. Fantastic. The guys from the south coming to try to beat the guys from the northeast. Never easy. Never easy, but I think Robert Gleeson showed coming across the island it can be done. Yeah, absolutely. Earlier this year, of course. Now, in terms of the Angel of the North, famous racer, of course, sponsored by and then the time at Northern Flat, two very good finals. Yeah, brilliant finals. The Northern Flat, I think, is so wide open. All it. I like sometimes to say I think this or that could win, but I think this race, I wouldn't rule anything out. I think what gets the best run will win the race. Possibly the Bitches race. I've got a feeling Jimmy Fennick did say that the Copper run on Trap 3. Sapphire. He thought it was capable. It was a real good bitch. It's got its trap. I think that might take a bit of beating, but everybody be trying to win the night. They always do at Newcastle, to be fair. Exactly. Great night. Busy track as well, certainly upstairs. Enjoy. Yeah, thanks very much, Hobbsy. Cheers, thanks, bye.
Yeah, British roads are horrendous, Joe, to get from, south to north, north to south, but it's brilliant when those journeys are made, and I'm loving the idea that Mark Wallace wants to come here and win the big pot at Christmas.
Absolutely, and the All England Cup's a brilliant competition, Darryl, and we've listened to Ian and about the Angel of the North. My sister has just texted me, Molly, who is watching, who had Green Hill Gem at home. Dinky, as she was known, won the Angel of the North here, beating Domino Storm all them years ago. She sadly passed away suddenly last year before Molly's baby Finley was born. So, I know you're watching, Molly, and she'll be doing you proud.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, there's an additional race. You may not be able to get a wager on this, but let's find out a little bit more with Gail May.
Joined by Ian Sutherland and Ross Miller, who are taking part in a human race tonight. Would you like to tell us, Ian, how did this come about?
Ross is always saying he can run, so I said I would match him on final night, so that's what's happened.
Okay, and what's the distance of the race?
It's just the 80 metres, just to give him a bit of a chance to keep close to us, so I don't beat him too far, really.
Okay, fighting talk. So are we raising money through this? Is that the plan?
Yeah, I think there's some buckets going to be going around for the Durham District Retired Greyhounds. So yeah, hopefully we'll raise some money. There's plenty of people come to watch. It's been advertised quite well on social media.
Amazing cause. So do you think you're going to have Bress to talk to us after the event, Ian?
Definitely, I will. I don't know about him, like, he might need like the A&E ambulance.
Okay, so fun to come.
Don't ask me how I price it, Joe. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, Ian is absolutely brimming with confidence. He fancies his chart. I thought we get the prices then. You mean as well. What do we reckon? 4 to 6, or is that too generous about Ian Sutherland?
10 to 11 the pair.
10 to 11 the pair. Okay. Anyway, that is to come at about 8:40. Before that, we've got the Arena Racing Company Standard, another final coming up at 8:19. This is a little bit more competitive than some of our earlier races. 9 to 4 the field. What are you seeing here?
Yeah, good to have these finals on as well, Darryl. £1,000 to the winners. Yeah, really good prize when you put up for this evening. Let's hope we can get more Southern-based traders coming in that December to support this, because if they put the money up, we want the best here.
It used to be the thing, didn't it? You know, and look, in fairness, Tom Hilbron travels south, Sathers travelled south, Jimmy Fennick travels south. So come on, you boys. You know, even I made it up on the train, admittedly, but it's good to get that competition, that rivalry going, isn't it?
It certainly is. Yeah, I'm going to be with Unanimous Kai here. I thought it was a really good winner last week in the heats of this, beating Tees Ritchie, and we're just waiting for him to come through the parade. I'll let you start, Darren. And what an absolute gorgeous ground that is, Tees Ritchie.
Yeah, for Roy Vickers and Jimmy Fennick. That was a massive run in the heats, just touched off behind Unanimous Kai. I'm not quite sure where it came from. He was a big price. It was first run back from a layoff, so if he's in that sort of form, he ain't no 9 to 1 chance.
Not 9 to 1 chance. It was good. 18 to 1. It was 18 to 1 last week as well, and you know, outrun his odds as we see Ballymat line out come through. For Jimmy Fennick again, he's got a very strong hand in this again. 3 in the final for Mr. N. McGregor. 44 runs, 14 victories in there, 2 to 1. We know how fast Ballymat line out is.
Motown Webby, of course, for Angela Harrison in at trap 3, who was the fastest of the qualifiers here. Maybe a chance for this solid A1 local to go to the front early doors.
Yeah, lovely early pace when doing it right. We saw that 4:53 sectionals on there as well. He's capable of 28:34 as we've seen back in May. Doing that is a massive runner.
Yeah, Jimmy's got 3, of course, because he's got Jeekers Mad as well for Neil McGregor, who qualified behind Unanimous Kai in last week's heats.
Yeah, ran well as well. I know got beat 4 lengths in the end, but found a little bit of trouble. Was beyond unanimously and in the first round of the Northern Flat. But a good performance from Jeekers Man to qualify for this.
You'll get double digits as well about Brinkless Louis, who has only won one of his starts so far, but he was the semi-finalist in the 3 steps, and he got to the semi-finals of the Laurels as well.
Yeah, the man as a box of frogs, I think Tom describes him as.
Yeah.
We spoke to him about him in his Derby team as well, Brinkless Louis. So plenty of speed. It's a big prize, but you can outrun that price.
And you're loving 6, as you told us, Unanimous Kai for Chloe Hardy up on the outside. What sort of draws you towards his chances?
I just thought that if he comes away, he'd hopefully clear Brinkless Louis, and he stays well. You know, he's got a good run on there, 28:51 trial. He's got a decent make-up here, Brinkless Louis. He can clear if he does come away. And then, look, there's decent... There would have been massive early in the race. Tees Ritchie in 1. Who we're seeing here, who popped out from trap 1, and it was going to be Unanimous Kai, who turned in a good position and went on to beat him in the end. But 4 Jeekers Man, we've seen that trouble there behind Unanimous Kai, and to get beat 4 lengths was a good run from him. But yeah, Tees Ritchie took him along. Lovely early speed. Beat Coppy's Gracie in a sprint trial. Now to lead Coppy's Gracie all the way in the sprint must take some doing, because we've seen the early pace she's shown earlier. So, you know, tied up slightly, but a good performance from Unanimous Kai on the outside to sweep lead and win comfortably.
Yeah, and Tees Ritchie was a massive price, only just touched off. But this heat was a little bit quicker, 11.5 quicker. Mountain Webby will go on to make all the running here. Ballymat line out and Brinkless Louis qualifying.
Yeah, no mistakes from Mountain Webby. Brinkless Louis went on really well to the corner, but he was going to be beat 4.5 lengths in the end, and it was a fantastic performance from Mountain Webby, capable of 28:34, Darryl, as we said. Now Ballymat line-out's in 2. He's got to try and just get a toe into the race behind Tees Ritchie. If you are on Ballymat line-out, you want Tees Ritchie to come away and stop Mountain Webby getting that run. That could allow Ballymat line-out to get a run from there. We've seen the gap closing. You'll need a little bit of luck here with one maybe coming away and putting the race or setting the race up for you. But I'm going to be with Unanimous Kai to repeat last week's run.
Yeah, I like Mountain Webby. I have to say on the front end, but Ballymat Lineout, who's the track record holder over 640, you know, if he gets a sniff of the lead, they're going to be in trouble, aren't
Done
they?
it 2 weeks in a row, didn't he? He went bang and bang 2 weeks in a row.
Did it just spot between them, wasn't it? Yeah,
The week after, yeah. So he was in great form then. If the gaps appear for him, he's got a big chance. As we go over to Ian Brindle.
Number 7, the Arena Racing Company Standard Final. The side has given them a check over, happy to face in right way, and the hare is now on the move. Hare running for race 7. Late support for Ballymat Lineout, bidding to reverse form Mountain Webby based on what happened last week. Here comes the Bonnie, and off and away we go. Better start from Ballymat Lineout is away well, but Tiny's Richie was in front last week. He's going to go around in front this week. So it's Tiny's Richie with Mountain Webby on the outside. Ballymat Lineout, every chance from there. Third advance of Jeeka's Man, Brinkley Louie, and Unanimous Kai didn't start at all well. It's at the rear of field. Well, they're in race car as they approach the penultimate turn. Tiny's Richie under strong pressure from Ballymat Lineout, who now moves wide. Just in behind them, Mountain Webby trying to stay on Jeeka's Man, but down the stretch, Ballymat Lineout is asserting. And Ballymat Lineout dropped to heavy last week, goes on to score this week. Tiny's Richie second, they're ahead of Mountain Webby.
It was almost a case of the writing was on the wall very early on here, Ballymat Lineout.
It's stupid, really, tipping Unanimous Kai when we just said, Darryl, that if Tiny's Richie comes away and stops Mountain Webby and Ballymat Lineout gets a run from there, then he's going to go on and win. And that's exactly what's happened. Tiny's Richie's come away, stopped Mountain Webby leading, Ballymat Lineout turned in a good position. We didn't see 4, 5 and 6, but look how he's broke down. He's broke in front half a length. He hasn't got the early pace to go with Tiny's Richie there, who's run another massive race. You know, a big prize again. He's run a huge race to see off Mountain Webby as well. But Ballymat Lineout was, the writing was on the wall, Darryl, from that second bend. As soon as he turned in that position and Mountain Webby weren't in front of him, he was always going to go on then to win. And he's took his time. You know, very professional performance. He's just coming back to his best now, and yeah, great performance and a great run from Tiny's Richie again in second.
Yeah, listen, great result for Jimmy Fennick. Got the 1, 2, got 3 in the Angel of the North final very shortly. And Ballymat Lineout was off for about 3 months. He's only coming back. He's only finding himself.
Yeah, he is, and you know, maybe down the line he would have been in the 6 bend race that's to come and defended his track record there. But look, Jimmy Fennick's a fantastic trainer. He has loads of winners. It won't be long before we see the dog over 6 bends again. But a great performance, and I wanted to see that, Darryl, because 6 Unanimous Kai come away, and then you see the head on, and he just come out and come together with Brinkley's Louie that we didn't see. We've seen him kind of stumble as he tracked. He tracked really well, Unanimous Kai. In the end, he's finished 4th in the end and ran a decent race there, staying on really well, but it was all about the dogs in front. And Ballymat Lineout turned in that great position. And a beautiful looking dog, Tiny's Richie, as we said, lovely strapping fawn and white greyhound there. He's just been beat by a very nice type, but he's seen off a good type in Mountain Webby. So more to come from Tiny's Richie as well.
Yeah, owned by 2 of Jimmy's top owners, of course, Neil McGregor and Roy Vickers, the 1, 2, and it's almost a case of, you know, the baton is handed from Tiny's Richie to Ballymat Lineout, and here we go. Yeah,
great performance from him, pulling away there into the drop as well. As we said, we'll see him go on to bigger and better things again over 6 bends, but we see him now walking to the podium. A great night for Jimmy Fennick so far. Hoping he'll go even better in the Angel of the North today. Soon here, though, we're on race 8 already, and we're nearly there. We've got, 2 more races before the Angel of the North final, 3 races before the Time Ground Nutrition Northern Flat. Time flies.
Time flies when you're having fun. Hope you're loving the programme tonight, and make sure you tell your friends how to subscribe to this channel and be a part of this, because we're here. We're back next week at Hove.
We certainly are. Please like, please subscribe, please comment as well. The comments are open. Good, bad, ugly, whatever you've got for us. Kate is there with the comments, so anything you can get onto us. We will always try and engage with people and interact when we can. Of course, Danny normally has a laptop and she's able to go through them.
I can't do that. That's
we'll leave that to Danny when she's back at Hove next week. But yeah, please do, because without your support we wouldn't be happening, and we've had fantastic support. The Derby was sensational, you know, over 10,000
Those Derby viewing figures were fantastic, weren't they? Showing there is a desire and a need for this kind of programme out there.
Absolutely is, and you know, Ryan's here again, barking my bet, and he was giving us a good plug with his, and vice versa as well. And you know, plenty of people watching Ryan who were then saying, I got into it, really gone to.
How's Ryan's tipping going, Joe? I must just ask, is he hit a bit of form?
It varies, Darryl.
That means no.
He's here tonight, so I haven't seen him yet. I've seen him only briefly, but he's here tonight, so hopefully he's winning a few quid.
Let's hope he's doing all right. Let's hope you're doing okay back at home as well. That's the presentation. Then it is Ballymat Lineout, and Jonathan Hobbs is right amongst it.
Thank you very much, Darryl. You can see Jimmy Fenwick with the trophy. Tremendous strong running performance from Ballymac Lineout, who's done the business. And after the success of Coppice Gracie, of course, coming back from a long spell off, well, Ballymac Lineout is also back. Remember, he's a 6-pen track record holder. Jimmy, again, you know, similar to Gracie, good to see this great dog back.
Yeah, he put the track record twice at here, then he won a nice race at Sheffield and kind of had 3 steps of victory in mind for him as well this year. But he trialled him and done 28.26 in the 480, and then race at Sheffield didn't fill. Trialled him again, he ended in 28.50, and he come off with a and we've kind of got him back, and it just took a few races to get him to back up to speed. And great performance tonight, mind, because you know the top 3 is a proper 28-40 dog round here. And, you know, he's stuck with it and he's come around and finished really well and well cleared the trip, so really pleased.
Is it one race at a time, or you got anything lined up for line-out?
We were thinking probably for the 6:30 maidens, the one more. Yeah, 6:30 be Brighterby Street. You know, it's just because he has that good 4-bend pace as well, and he definitely stays 6:40 here, so he'll get 6:30 at Monmore. So, and no, delighted. You know, he's one of my wife's favourites, she says. She dotes on the dog, like, so. You know, but like I said, you know, a big thank you to all the staff, and obviously the owner, Neil McGregor. You know, we'll keep getting these real nice dogs in the kennel, and if it wasn't for the McGregor family, well, you know, and same with Tony Brealey, you know, you have the good owners, and they keep supplying good dogs, and we like winning races with them.
It's a fair shout, of course, you know, not just Belmore Sally, but Wiki, Ned, Melanie, and speaking to Jimmy earlier, you've got a busy 48 hours ahead of you, haven't you? Tell us what's happening.
Well, early shout in the morning, up at 5, away for 6. I think it's a 10:30 ferry across to Belfast.
Wiki Ned is trialling at Shelbourne Park.
He is, yep. Hopefully get him across there, and we'll give him a 5:50 and see how he goes, and then take it from there. We're looking forward to having a crack at again at the Irish Derby, but we'll give it a good go, give it our best shot, and we'll just see what happens.
The Dundalk race was just fantastic, wasn't it? I mean, mixed feelings because he was just edged out, but it was an amazing run from a UK-based greyhound to go so close. I know we've won it in the past, and you went close to winning it this year.
We did really well, considering he just did the 3 steps, and we thought we couldn't give him a look round, but we thought we'll take a chance. We know he's a great dog, and he knows he gives everything, and he's not a dog that gives in easy, and he just keeps trying his best. I think if he'd had a look, the race might have been different, but he was in against 5 of Ireland's best, and he just shows that he can compete at that level. So we did come away buzzing, thinking, wow, just what an amazing performance. Just to get beat by a half a length, it takes some doing to drop him in at the deep end and to run like that. Absolutely amazing.
That's got the juices, thank you, Melanie. That's got the juices flowing for Shelbourne Park in that respect. You, as you said earlier, you know, you were so well treated at Dundalk, and against some really good dogs, you fancy taking them on again?
You would think you have to with a dog like, you know, we've all seen what he can do when he breaks at his very, very best. You know, the Sheffield break was absolutely incredible break, and then you look at that and think, well, if that was in a real top race, you then back run him. You know, it'd be very, very hard. And if it does, it's a real special greyhound that could do that. So we feel that, you know, we're given the opportunity, get him to know the track. We've got no excuses, have we, really, if that's the case? We'll give him 2 or 3 looks round and trial stakes, and we'll know from the times that he's doing and how he hands it. The 5:50 is not going to be a problem to him, you know, so the long run at the bend as well, which he's going to really, really like. So it all depends if he handles the 3rd bend to Shelbourne, which is tricky. If he does that, why not have a go?
You're going to give him every chance. I wish you guys all the best, and well done.
Thanks, Jonathan. Thank you very much.
Oh, they're greyhound royalty, aren't they, Jimmy and Melanie Fenwick? And what an agenda for Melanie over the next few hours.
The whole of the UK will be behind him, of course.
Absolutely.
We got beyond March on Friday last year, and Arthur Cornflake who went over?
Did well for Pat Godfrey,
so
yeah.
The whole of the UK will be behind Jimmy, Melanie and the team. And any of the UK runners that go over, you know, we always want them to go as far as they can. Semi-final.
We do, Joe, because they so often get the better of us. Well, 2-1 here, Ballymac Lineout. If you were lucky enough to back the winner, Tyne Tees Ritchie at 10-1. Moan Team Webby was 3rd.
Clever. Bet Goodwin. Proud sponsors of Gone to the Dogs.
Bet Goodwin, Bet Goodwin, Bet Goodwin.
Now, at the top of the programme, we said happy birthday greyhound racing, because this very day, the 24th of July, 1926, greyhound racing started at Bellevue. A guy called Misty won the very first race. I've been reading a wonderful book by Charles Blanning, who's a great writer, called Please Mister. I'm not trying to plug it for Charlie, but I tell you what, if you want to know about the history of the sport, you've got to have a look at that. Do you know what? Before greyhound racing started at Bellevue that very first day, it was raining. There's a surprise in Manchester. But the rain stopped. There was 2,000 in. They had a couple of wobbly meetings. And within a few weeks, everyone said, what is this new sport? And the numbers just went whew, like that.
I just heard them singing it, Darren, as well. They've just sung Happy Birthday behind us. Definitely to greyhound racing, weren't it?
Do you think that was for greyhound racing?
Absolutely.
Got to be. Now, Gal May, of course, very much part of this programme this evening, is trying to get this 100th year off and running. So what we want is memorabilia. I was going to ask for memories, but I'm not sure anybody actually goes back 99 years, but if you know someone who does. But memorabilia, we want to make this the best year for greyhound racing ever. That 100th birthday, you know, on the countdown. So whatever you got, get in contact with Gal, get in contact with us, and we'd love... yeah, to try and just make this next year something very special.
It is very special, Dal. You know, for the sport to be going 99 years, 100 years next year is a brilliant achievement. We've still got a lot of work to do. You know, let's hope there's another 100 years to come when we'll be long gone, of course, but let's hope generations down the line can still celebrate what a brilliant sport we have. It is truly a remarkable sport. You've seen that tonight in what it means to people, Darryl, as well. We've got plenty of people trying to do what they can to stop this unbelievable sport and these brilliant animals from doing what they love, and stopping also people who work in it doing what they're the best at as well.
Listen, it was lovely to hear Hopsy talk with the youngsters earlier. Let's get back downstairs with him.
Well, thanks, guys. You joined me on the steps here talking to, I was going to consider a blast from the past. It's been a while, Ted Soppett. Nice to see you. How are you?
It is, since the Sky Days. Nice to see you here again, getting a bit fresh air.
Oh, I love the northeast air, you know that. Two runners tonight, Sunnyside Broxy and Jaden. How do they go?
They should both go well. Broxy's 1 from 1 in the 640, ran really well. And Jaden was basically schooled down here when he first started off, and no, I'm expecting them to both go well. Both good races.
Very good races. Broxy's the Derby dog, of course. He was back this year after reaching the final the previous year for Liam.
Yeah. But now he hasn't got the pace for the 4 bends. You get away from him, and but he tends to show early over 6. He did last week and just cramped short of a run, I thought, on Saturday. It's his first 6 bend run for nearly 2 months. So I would have expected him to come on considerable for that. Whether it's enough, we'll see.
I've just seen Mrs. Soppett walk past. She looks well. You look well as well. She's looking after you, clearly. This place obviously always gives you great memories from back in the day. I mean, Droopy Shearer still holds a track record.
Yeah, Droopy Shearer, Kawasaki Frisbee, he had the 6 bend track record. Getting chinned off Midway Skipper in the TV trophy. Did us twice, actually, the year after with another one. So, no, I've had some great memories here. Great track records. I've had the track record, I think, 3 or 4 times. 4 times. Man's View, Droopy's Platini, then Shearer again. So, no, it's a good track. Look, that's why these races here, they tend to take a lot of winning. There's some good local trainers who are putting their hands in their pockets and buying good dogs, and you never know what you're going to bump. I mean, that Broxy dog's bumping Clun Ice. Is it Clun Ice? Was in the final of the Cloncullen. Yeah, so you get no easy rides, and Jaden's in against Stone Park Offer, and the national sprint winner in 3, so it's not a bad race.
Top dogs, top track, and the top, can I call you veteran trainer now, Ted? Be your top man.
You can't say that, Hobbs. Christ alive.
Lovely to see you.
Cheers.
Well, that is really spooky, because I said to you, Droopy Shearer, and as I said it, Ted, to Ted, and of course if we're in Newcastle, there's no way we can have a programme without mentioning Shearer.
Absolutely, yeah, the absolute legend that he is up here as well. Plenty of black and white in the northeast today as we go through the parade. Wonderful ollie there for Daniel Ball at P-Star P-Law. Recent trial there, 29.03. The next one is Very interesting. What another gorgeous looking boy, Daryl Cloner Ice.
Yeah, and they're thinking of the summer stayers as well going forward here. Of course, ran well in the Corn Cuchulainn, so really interesting and absolute bundles of money. We'll come back to that in a second, but here's Ballymac Camilla. I wonder whether Chi might run a bit better than the odds suggest for Jimmy on the outside.
Yeah, she was the yardstick for Wiki Ned in the 3 steps, weren't it? We listened to we saw Jimmy's piece saying that we wanted to put him in with Ballymac Camilla. We know she stays well, and if he was able to get away from her and stay away from her, then they were always going to put him in, and he managed to do so, beating a 4 1/4 lengths in that trial. Since then, hasn't quite gone to plan for her, but she's 11 to 1. We know that she stays just well enough, but as you said a minute ago, Daryl, all the money today for Cloner Ice, a new recruit for Brian Fairbairn from Pat Buckley in the Corn Cuchulainn. Ploughed into him today, absolutely ploughed into Cloner Ice.
They did, and that means that Sunnyside Broxy, who was odds on earlier, is no longer odds on, now 11 to 8 and drifting.
It also means that you've got a non-runner and you're on at SP if you took the prices earlier.
It does, Joe. Look, Cloner Ice had 11 runs in Ireland, only managed to win the once, was consistent, but you know there weren't too many wins. The trial was good, and he may well deliver big style here, but is there therefore any value now back in Sunnyside Broxy?
Yeah, potentially. You know, he's 1 from 1 here as we listen to Ted say that over the 640. He's 1 from 1. He said he cramped up last week at Monmore. He expected that. I backed him for the Derby again this year, Darryl. I thought that he was one that could go deep. Just ran a little bit flat in the Derby there, Sunnyside Broxy, but he's got a clear Holly Hill pad on his inside. He probably got enough early to clear Holly Hill pad. On with Cloner Ice, very interested again, but taking a little bit of a walk. Was 4 to 6, now into 5 to 6. There's money for 1 Holly Hill pad, Daryl. 7 to 1 into 5 to 1. As the other 2 go bigger. Wonderful Holly out to 33s. Ballymac Camilla 12 to 1. 5 to 6 now. Favourite Cloner Ice. 6 to 4 Sunnyside Broxy. That could be a big price.
Yeah, there'll be a few wanting to take that now. Ex Ballymac Gizmo, of course, and Holly Hill pad has not been further than 500. So this is a new trip here. I'm just having a look at these results now. It's been a good night for those who've been following the short ones. Salakers, Belletisa, Coppice Gracie, Jack Tavern Chief, they've all done the business, so, you know, are we going to get... Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So are we going to get another odds-on favourite, or...?
Yeah, whichever way you look, there's going to be plenty of money for Sunnyside Broxy. There'll be plenty of people who've gone in on Cloner Ice, so, yeah, 13 to 8 now, Sunnyside Broxy getting bigger, Daryl.
Over on the far side, we're only moments away from the human race, ladies and gentlemen. Before that, though, here's the Arc Stayers.
Over. This is the Arena Racing Company stairs. Trap 6 doesn't go here, just a 5 of them, and the strong favourite Trap 4, Cloner Ice, bidding for a double for Connections and Brian Fairbairn, the trainer. Here comes the Bonnie. And we're off and racing, heading towards the first turn. Good start from Sunnyside Broxy, is going to get a handy position, but Cloner Ice tried to come on the outside, and those 2 have now gone on. So the big 2 in the market are 1 and 2. Just behind them, Wonderful Ollie. Holly Hill Pad has gone for a daring run up the rails, but it's Ballymac Camilla who's gone into 4. So as they're down the back stretch for the second time, Cloner Ice has just taken a length out of Sunnyside Broxy. These are now 5 lengths clear of Wonderful Ollie. Trying to stay on again, Holly Hill Pad, and Ballymac Camilla is at the tail of the field. Cloner Ice hasn't quite put this to bed. Sunnyside Broxy trying hard to reel this one in. They are a long way clear of Wonderful Ollie, but Cloner Ice has got too many guns surely for Sunnyside Broxy, and that is the way it stays. Cloner Ice beating Sunnyside Broxy. The market got it right. Holly Hill Pad was back in 3rd.
Well, they wanted to be on this. The money has been coming all day for Cloner Ice. Ran well in the Corn Cuchulainn. That's a good key form line. Ex-Pat Buckley. Now Brian Fairbairn. We got the big 2 in a bit of a duel going down the back. But as you said, turning in, this is all over.
He's a very, very nice type, isn't he? And look, Pat put him in the Derby when he was very unexposed still. And it was just a matter of let's see how good he is. Didn't quite work out for him, but he's managed to drive his first bend down. He's come away running, to be fair. He's just behind 1 and 2. But he drove the first bend really well to turn with Sunnyside Broxy. Just that initial 4 bend speed that his guys then took him to the front. And look, you don't make a Corn Cuchulainn final, and then you're not going to not stay this trip at Newcastle 640.
Exactly,
so
yeah.
Once he's in front, we know Sunnyside Broxy really needs to be off the front over 6 bends to show his best. So he was never going to back run him. He tried for 5 bends, but then coming off the last bend, we heard Ian say that he hadn't put it to bed. Oh, he did put it to bed. He went from being a length clear at the 5th bend to 2.5 lengths clear coming off the final bend. He put it to bed, and he's done it really well. So a nice performance from Cloner Ice. A good running second by Sunnyside Broxy, and we'll both see him at Monmore, I imagine, huh?
Yeah, that's the plan. I think the summer stayers, isn't it? And Brian Fairbairn having a very good night, of course. He's still got Slingshot Shaz to come in the big one later. Could get even sweeter, but... yeah, the money told the story. Once again here, these races are pretty much going to the form book, or at least the betting form book.
Yeah, they certainly are. It's been a good night for favourite backers there. If you're on Clona Ice, if you took the prices earlier, he went off around 5 to 6. So if you are on SP, a little bit of compensation.
That's a shame, isn't it?
It is, to be fair, but he could have been a lot shorter, Darryl. He opened 4 to 6 there. He's took a drift slightly towards closer to even money. So a little bit better there for punters who have took the early prices. You're on at SP. If people got stuck in after the dog was pulled out, you know, you've done really well, because he's done that extremely well. And you probably really never had a moment's worry, Darryl. Once he's hit the front out of the second bend, you never had a moment's worry. And he's going to go on to do some big things going over 6 bends later on in his career.
Yeah, first run elimination in the Derby, as Joe was saying. First run since after, well, a couple of months on the sidelines, but he is back with a bang for New Connections and wins well from Sunnyside Broxy. There's the presentation party, and somewhere amongst them all is Jonathan Hobbs.
Thank you very much, Darryl. Great scenes down here. The Scottish flag branded proudly, because that is another victory for Brian Fairbairn tonight. Craig Armstrong in the centre of the picture there. Big Stu Brand, part of the winning Connections. And I think, guys, that was the biggest cheer of the night. I think matched as Clona Ice arrives back in the hands of Brian Fairbairn. That's such a great job with his dad George, of course, and plenty of smiles. They're just about fitting into the presentation area here. Alec McTaggart of Arc doing the business for the Arena Racing Company stayers, and it was a good battle, ultimately won by Clona Ice over Sunnyside Broxy. Ted Soppitz. I'm going to see what sort of plans they got for a ground. Who's got plenty of good Irish form, second in the Corn Cuchulainn. Big cheer for the slingshots, as you can, albeit. I'm not too sure there's a name change in the offing. It used to be called Glengar Bart, of course. Clona Ice. It's Greyhound's name. And we'll get a chat once Sean Reynolds has taken the picture. It's a thumbs up. Brian, that was a great performance. I think that was the biggest cheer of the night when he hit the front.
I was delighted. What a run. Showed a bit early what we thought he would do. Gave him the sprint trials and got his head in front, and he's got to be hard to catch after that. Eh? So, delighted.
He came over with a big reputation. He settled in very well, clearly.
Aye. He's good temperament. But all the hard work goes to that, man. That puts all the hard work in. My dad.
That's George?
That's George, aye.
So I'm going to have a chat with George. What sort of plans? Are you going to go to Monmore with him? Or?
Take him to Summer Stairs, aye. That's the plan, aye. So we'll take him down for a trial in a couple of weeks and get him a look round the track and take it from there.
Fantastic. Let's have a chat then with George. George, you must have been impressed with that. It's been a good night.
Really impressed. I know the dogs well. Maybe a wee bit short of match, but if you like, but he's going to come on for that as well. He's going to be a super dog.
What sort of character is he?
Oh, he's laid back. Lovely dog. Beautiful dog. Great in the kennel. Can be a wee bit noisy for his dinner and stuff like that, but that's just normal. But other than that, he's great.
And he arrived in fantastic condition, of course.
Pat Buckley, all credit goes to Pat Buckley. The dogs I bought off him are in immaculate condition. I've got to say that.
Brian says Monmore maybe the next target?
Well, that's the target for him. Yeah, that's what we was bought for, to be honest with you. This run the night was just to kind of open up the lungs and that. We knew he needed that bit further. You know, just a bit extra work, if you like. So we'll now head to Monmore, give him a wee trial there, and then hopefully we'll win that Summer State Stakes.
And you're going to bring half of Scotland back down to Monmore.
Absolutely.
Brilliant to see. Lovely. Enjoy, George.
For the human race, I'm not sure if we're going to get commentary. We're going to have to muddle through it. But Ian Sutherland on the left as we watch, who fancied his chances. Ross Miller on the right, still 5 to 6 each.
Is it a full lap?
No, it's not a full lap, just to the winning line.
Just to the winning line.
This boy's come to a full lap.
We'd have to delay racing if it was a full lap, so we'll probably still have to delay racing now.
Here we go, they're set.
Ready to go.
And racing, away they go. And Ian Sutherland takes a small lead from Ross Miller, who's coming under a bit of pressure, but he's battling on well as they go inside the distance. Ross Miller on the far side. Oh, Ross Miller! Oh, stumbled Ian Sutherland there, and Ross Miller's won it comfortably. I think Ian just, in the end, accepted defeat a little bit earlier than he should have done. And Ross Miller has perhaps surprised a few here.
I thought he was going to fall over after about 30 yards. It looked like he was stumbling a little bit, but yeah, they'll be blowing now. It's a lot harder to run on sand than you think, Darryl. It's extremely, extremely tough. And yeah, look, he just Gets his head down there. Ross looks around, has a little look. He didn't make contact though, so he's had a little glance.
Well, he spent most of the race looking, Ian Southern, rather than just getting on with the job in hand.
He's also running in jean shorts, which is a horrendous thing to do. You know, he thought
it is absolutely
dressed for the occasion. But look at the going as well, though. Look, a nice perfect.
Yeah,
strip.
look, come on, what's going on here? The
Perfect
inside's
for
been
Ross.
prepared.
Yeah.
Sutherland's been absolutely, yeah.
Most of the tractor out on the inside for Ross, so we know who they wanted to be on here, didn't we?
I think he's taking it in good heart as Ian Southern. Gal May is with the pair of them. Let's find out more.
Earlier, and both of them were incredibly confident. Ross, what a run!
I was just dodging in front, keeping it entertaining for the crowd, you see.
Yeah. Well, I
Never in doubt.
I
Never
did
in
think
doubt.
you were hanging about a bit, but
Yeah. I think I should be Mark Lockwood.
There will be interference, I think.
Ian, anything? Are we going to have a rematch?
Oh yeah, definitely have a rematch, like definitely have a rematch. Definitely have a rematch.
I tell you what, though, I believe there's been quite a lot of money raised for the Greyhounds, and that's what it was all about.
10.79 apparently is the official time.
New track record.
New track record. Well done, guys. Really, really good. Thanks so much.
Very quick, but there's nothing to compare it with. 10.79, but 5-6. Clodagh Ice has won the Arc Stayers from Trap 4. Beat Sunnyside Broxley 13-8. Holly Hill Pad was the third greyhound there. Now, Time Greyhound Nutrition, of course, sponsor our big race tonight. We're so grateful to them for doing that. That is coming up in, about 45 minutes' time. And Time Greyhound, new low-protein nut for high meat diets. Do check out their website for more. Now, we've talked about the Regency. Let's have a look at the Sussex Cup that also continues on Saturday at Hove. 3 semi-finals, of course, after qualification in the first round last week. And guess who's anti-post favourite there, Joe?
Yeah, this is about to Daryl King Memphis in one break. Great to see him back. Proper Heiress was back to his ultimate best last week in the East. Challenge Bear, Ostrich, Carly No Bear, Feeling Derby semi-finalist, Sam Romeo, Tomcat, the winner of the Derby Plate. So this is an absolute. If that was a final, Daryl, you wouldn't begrudge it. If that was next week's final, brilliant. But Proper Heiress, he's back to his best. He'll take some stopping.
Going to take some stopping. Anti-post, I think, still a fair price. This is probably the weaker of the 3 semis, but you know those involved won't worry about that.
Great draw for Newin Benny out wide again, the defending champion. I'm with him. I thought 20-1 was a big price. Anti-post, he's got a good make-up there. This was where the bloodbath began. Daryl. Our mystery Dazzle Hermes, 33.
Who saw that coming?
Last week. You know, in together. A good race, but Newin Benny's got a good draw.
And your third semi, we've got a couple of heat winners there, haven't we? Queen Shakira and Slick Sentinel is probably going to be the one they've got to beat in terms of the market anyway.
Yeah, he's got a good draw again. Ballymac Axel in 5, who he should clear. Slick Sentinel, yeah, I'm with him. I think he's got a good make-up out wide. I think he'll do the business.
Now, let's have a look at the anti-post market, because if you fancy Proper Heiress, you can get odds against. Is that a fair price at 6-4?
It's probably shorter than he should be in that race. You know, it's a good race. Kim Memphis in 1. If he was in 1 and Kim Memphis in 2, fair enough. He's got to clear him. I know Kim Memphis isn't probably at his absolute maximum yet, but it's still a very, very good ground that we know, one of the best in the country. Where can you see it?
Well, I mean, you could go to Hove, of course, or alternatively, if you're not close by, you could do this.
Yes, we are back.
I'm watching it as everyone else is for the first time, and I'm going, well, where are you? But I'm watching.
Week.
Jason Barrisford is back.
He is. It's his local track. We had to get him out of prison, Jason, to get him there.
You can't say that.
So, yeah, Jason will be there, and it's always one of the highlights of the calendar.
Jason being there, and of course the Sussex Cup and the Regency. The Arena Racing Company sprint is on the way. There is the lineup. Stone Park Hoffer is the track record holder at Sunderland, and equal the track record here in the trial. So what possibly could go wrong?
He should win, but he's got a certain national sprint winner in 3, Nias Fernabar, who was very lightly raced at the time when he won it. Sunnyside Jaden in great form at Sunderland as well, 4-10 stop it, but this is all about Stone Park Hoffa, a brilliant dog for Sava Roberts, and he should do the business.
Yeah, he's been off since May. Now the Bowser is out. It's still a lovely evening here in the northeast at Newcastle. Absolutely loving our time up here, Joe, this evening. Poor old, we're missing Danny, but she will be back for Hove in a week's time.
Wherever she is, she will be watching. You know, I spoke to Danny, and she says she's on these family nights now, but she always pops off and watches a race or two. So yeah, she'll be watching, but she'll be back next week.
This is a market that has a strong favourite, a fairly strong second favourite in Sunnyside Jade, and some big prices elsewhere. But you're saying it's hard to get away from the jolly here.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a very, very fast dog, isn't he? And when he does it right, 16-60 equal track record in the trial suggests that he's in good order. You know, Savas took his time with him, went to Central Park, didn't quite work out there. But if he does it right, he'll win because he's a very, very fast greyhound.
Let's talk about Chloe's dog, because Niels Furnival wasn't really given a great chance in the national sprint, but proved everybody wrong. He's been off since the Golden Sprint semi-final. He's had a bit of a layoff. Is he prepped and ready to go?
Yeah, but he's got over 5 lengths to find with Stone Park Hoffa in his last trial. So, you know, that's 5 lengths in the sprint, Darrell, is a hell of a lot to do.
We've got a Scotland takeover upstairs as well as downstairs earlier.
Just here, he was singing Happy Birthday to ground racing not long ago. So
I think Craig Armstrong's got about 70 in his party, hasn't he, tonight? Yeah, serious numbers. So, anyway, they're coming out here. So, you know, those who are playing up winnings on these favourites are doing all right tonight. 8-15 was 4-6 earlier on. It is 11-4 Sunnyside Jane. It was a little bit bigger than that, so there has been some money for Ted Soppett's greyhound. I mean, I have him down as a Sunderland dog rather than a Newcastle dog, in fairness. Well, he's done most of his running around Sunderland.
He has, and Darren, you're doing a 478 section on Sunderland. That is absolutely flying to the corner. I don't think I've seen too many do 478.
You don't.
But to be doing 478 and still not breaking 27 seconds probably suggests that the 450 is a bit of a stretch for you. You know, he's coming in off the back of a good run in the sprint there, 15.56 last week at Sunderland, so he's in good form, Sunnyside Jaden, but he hasn't been running there against the likes of Niels Furnival and, of course, Stone Park Hoffa.
I mean, the great thing about these nights is you know, we love to see these top campaigners, these leading dogs in their division. That's what we're getting tonight. This is Tinnock Links for Paul Singlewood. I'm not sure if it's Paul's only runner on the card. No, he's got a couple of others, but what sort of chance might he have with a bitch?
Yeah, he's 9-1. He was behind Domino Hoo in the semi-finals of the Angel of the North last week. Good draw on the inside. He is the right side of Stone Park Hoffa, who we can see here.
Yeah, they'll be cheering Hoffa from the terraces, no doubt, if he can get himself in a pitch. He's been off since May. Does that detract from his chance, or do we look at the trial and go, he's ready?
He's ready, and it's different for sprinters, I think, Darryl, where they can go fresh. You know, it's not as far for them, and they can go fresh. He also just stay further.
Steve Anderson and Chloe Hardy together with Niels Furnival, as we say, won the big Nottingham race just before Christmas.
Yeah, national sprint winner, semi-final, it's a golden sprint as well. Been off the card since. Needs to do a little bit more off his trials to get competitive with Stone Park Hoffa, but he knows how to win big races.
There is money for Sunnyside, Jaden. Ted Soppett missed out in the previous race, but this ground was a finalist in the Sunderland Puppy Cup a month or so back.
Yeah, beautiful strapping boy as well. 9 victories from 20 starts there for Mr. A and Ted Soppett, as we said. And look, if he can transfer his Sunderland form to here, he is a big player.
And a couple of big price ladies on the outside. Hazelfield Julie, who's not really a sprinter. Her form is sort of mid-division graded here.
Yeah, but she's capable of 4.42 sectionals. You look at her card, Darryl, she's breaking 4.50 on a regular basis. So doing that, you give yourself a chance. But it's okay doing it in A3s and A4s. You're in with some serious seasoned sprinters here.
If we were going back to this time last year, Bramble Aureo would have a great chance, but she has been off. The trials suggest maybe she's going to come on for this run.
Yeah, she'll need to 17.24 on the outside. She's going to have to try and clear Hazelfield Julie, which isn't going to be easy. She's 14-1 for a reason. You know, she's going to have to come on for what she's been doing. But this is a really good little race, Darryl. A good sprint before we get to the 2 big ones.
Yeah, do you know what? There's so many good races, Joe. Normally, your forefront of your mind is the features, but there's been so much good racing along the way that I'm just loving every race as we go. So, look, Stone Park Hoffa, there'll be a lot of backers out there, multiple bets that have put these favourites in and going, please just give me Hoffa to complete the bet.
Yeah, he might be waiting on this. You know, they might have chucked in Copy Sapphire in the next, you don't know. But if this was your last one, you'd be fairly confident. Doing 16.60 off the back of a layoff, it's some doing, you know. To equal the track record, that takes some doing. He's just got to come away level down and he'll win.
That's the scenario on paper. It's played out positively on many occasions tonight. 8-13 about Trap 2 as they head over to those 2 90-metre boxes. When were you last at Newcastle, Joe?
I was last here for the Northern Puppy Derby final. when we had Fight the Power and Slide Away in the final for Carol Weatherall. That was, that's got to be a good 4 or 5 years ago, I imagine. So yeah, it's been a while since
it's
I've
been
been
longer since I was last here, but you forget just what a wonderful stadium this is, and absolutely full of passion, everybody here. So
we see the podiums there, we've seen the last winner there, Clona Rice, and what it means to people. And you know, if we can get the same result with Slingshot Shaz in the Northern Flat final later, there won't be a dry eye in the house, Darrell, rightly so as well, after the devastating passing of Slingshot Sam. He was brilliant and a really, really nice dog. A winner of a Derby heat, of course.
Yes, of course.
Going back to Toaster during the first round of the Derby. Devastatingly passed away after his first round victory in the first round of the Northern Flat. So yeah, look, I think as a neutral, we probably all want Slingshot Shaz to do the business purely for a ground racing story. It would be a fantastic way to celebrate the life of Slingshot Shaz.
It would be a wonderful result, but as you know, Joe, it doesn't necessarily happen. It's how they run on the night. You know, it's who's going to get the breaks, and yeah, those big races are coming up very shortly, aren't they? But 4 to 7 now. Stone Park Hoffer, Golden Sprint semi-finalist, and Savile Roberts Charge about to go into the boxes. There he is.
They're back in both, Darrell, because 4 to 7 he was 8 to 13, 4 to 6, and 11 to 4 with Sunnyside Jaden. So they are back in both.
Fours earlier today, Sunnyside Jaden.
Big price, big price, and he's half that now. So you know, there's plenty of money for him in what is a really, really good race.
Set to go forward then for the race that will take us to the Angel of the North, and then take us, of course, to the Northern Flat final. They're just getting prepped over on the far side, waiting for the signal to low, which should come.
They're just shooting the rail, that's why. Betts come out to shoot the rail there, so that wasn't shut. So they've just closed that off, and that's why they're going in.
Excellent. Okay, that's, as you say, that's now been dealt with, and the greyhounds are loading into the boxes. Stone Park Hoffer is just a yard or two behind the others, but about to be placed in now with the favourite status here. Warm order in trap 2. Let's get across to Ian Brindle, who's doing a fine job calling our races home tonight here in the northeast.
So the starter walks to the front. He's going to check them over for his 2-bend sprint. He's happy to face in the right way, and for the Time Greyhound Nutrition Sprint, the hare is on the move. The strong favourite is trap 2, Stone Park Hoffer. Here comes Zaboni. And they're off and racing. Good start from Nosferna Bolt, and down the far side they go, and it's Stone Park Hoffer coming through, taking over at the expense of Tinnock Links. No room then for Nosferna Bolt, as staying on Sunnyside Jaden tries hard to go after the Stone Park Hoffer. Tinnock Links is running an absolute stormer, but Stone Park Hoffer justifies the odds. Sunnyside Jaden is second, and they were in advance of Tinnock Links.
I mean, I'm waiting for the highlights to watch all these greyhounds with exceptional pace tonight. There's been so many. Hoffer hasn't come out that well, and you're thinking, will he get a run? Will he get a run? By golly, he got a run, didn't he?
Sensational performance from Stone Park Hoffer. He's done that really well. You can see he hasn't really come away, as we said, Darrell. He's been out-trapped by 1, by 2, by 3, by 4. But that pace to the first bend, he hasn't just cleared at the bend. He's a length and a half clear going into it. And you see here, you know, Tinnock Links in 3, Neos Fernabal have out-trapped him. He's not just in front of the bend, he's a length and a half clear going into that first bend off a fairly missed break. Look, he's a very, very nice greyhound for Savile Roberts and Connections, and look, they're going to have a lot of fun with him going forward. If he can stay sound now, he's a very, very nice type going forward. And would you put anyone off backing him for the National Sprint come December?
Well, absolutely. I mean, he ran in the Golden Sprint. He got to the semi-finals. This is his first race at Newcastle. He had that ridiculously fast trial, as we were saying, but this is first time round.
Would suit him more, though, Darrell, probably sprinting. Romford, we've seen there, probably his Achilles heel is that initial burst. You can't get away with it at Romford. But you've got that big long run to the corner here at Hove, maybe at Nottingham, etc. You see there, he can't get away with that break at Romford. Whereas here, with that big long run to the bend, you're able to show that speed to hit the front there. Yeah, I think.
And you'll get that at Nottingham in the National Sprint, won't you? So,
yeah. Big long run to the corner there, 305 metres. That's right up his street.
Oh, it's another devastating display, this time by Stone Park Hoffer for Savile Roberts, who wins as the odds-on favourite and is chased home by the well-backed Sunnyside Jaden in second, and Tinnock Lynn, Links Trap 1, was finishing back in third, but the camera is rightly all over Stone Park Hoffer, who, remember, hasn't raced since May. He's been off for, what are we talking, 10 weeks?
Yeah, he's been off a long time. He was odds-on to beat King Presley in the Silver Salve. Didn't quite go to plan there behind King Presley, but look, he's a very, very fast greyhound. We know that, and he's shown that again there. Is that a trial stakes, the 10th of May? Well, was that the start of the competition on?
I'm guessing it's a trial stakes because it's just OR, isn't it, as opposed to...
R1, yeah.
Yeah.
Now for the competition, yeah, just a trial stakes, and look, got beat there. He's had a hand slip, and he's followed that hand slip here with a 16.60 equaling track record. So the time will be interesting. We can't hear the times. It's very loud here.
No.
Very busy, so we can't quite hear the times, but I'll say it's fairly quick.
Yeah, I don't think we've missed a track record, but you never know. But good to hear from Savva a little bit earlier on, and I'm sure we get more reaction from him in a second with Hobson. There is Stone Park Hoffer on that winner's podium after the running of the Arena Racing Company Sprint, the race that will take us to the two big features this evening, which are not too far away here on Gone to the Dogs Live. He knows where he belongs, doesn't he, this greyhound?
He certainly does, yeah. That is now 9 victories in 17 starts in the UK, so a very, very fast greyhound, and 2 seconds in there as well. And he's been on 9 podiums now, Darren, and there's plenty more to come.
Well, he's the track record holder at Sunderland, so he equalled the clock here at Newcastle in the trial. I mean, I'm guessing he's not done it because he's come from off the pace, but there could come a time when he's got both sprint clocks at the 2 northeast venues.
Yeah, and it's probably not a surprise to see him do 16.60, Darryl. When dogs have been off the card a while, you know, they're raring to go, aren't they? And, you know, he's had that first run back and he's probably flew out of the boxes. Haven't seen the trial, but to clock 16.60 was a great run. Hobbsy, what a run that was.
Sensational run, wasn't it? And I imagine a man with a big smile on his face. We spoke to him a little bit earlier. There's plenty of people congratulating Savva Roberts and Stone Park Hoffer. Willie Rigney from sponsor Time Greyhound Nutrition. Savva, that was sensational. That was a relief, yeah?
Oh,
good to see you.
Me it was. It is. Just look, like I said before, we know how good it can be, but it's just nerve-wracking when they're coming back from like quick trials. Quick trials really mean nothing. Just tell you the dog's well, but he ran all right tonight.
He is one solid fella.
He's absolute rock, isn't he? He is. He's just professional. He's cool as a cucumber, but. That was an extremely hot heat. That they were the best about them, you know.
Is he up there with the best you put a lead on?
I had one good sprinter called Lack and Deco, which got I think I won the Skynet, possibly at Doncaster, and then we were second in the Scurry at Bellevue. But I think this is just different altogether. It's just different class. It's just lovely to. I'm lucky enough the lads who were part of them, Glenn and Anthony, all them, when we decided to buy them, they let me keep all, which is brilliant, you know, which is really thanks to them as well.
And you've got a busy 15 minutes, Bogger darling.
We have, yes, it's really important, this one.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Stone Park Hoffer, who has landed odds of 8 to 13 to take the sprint at Newcastle, beat Sunnyside Jaden 2 to 1 second in, and Tinnock Lynx was in third.
Bet Clever, Bet Goodwin, proud sponsors of Gone to the Dogs.
Bet Goodwin, Bet Goodwin, Bet Goodwin.
So, we're getting to that stage of the night, Joe, where it really does matter. We're getting to those 2 big finals. It is the Arena Racing Company Angel of the North coming up very shortly. We get your thoughts in a second, but let's have a look with everybody at home as to what happened in the semi-finals.
Are off and away, and as they head towards the first bend, Bluebell Teddy got a good start on the inside, but on the outside comes Racebury Angel. Just between them, Coppice Sapphire manages to get a seat, and as they go towards the second bend, they're rather going too much way, Bluebell Teddy and Coppice Sapphire, but they're still 1 and 2. They're followed by Inca Taylor, then we've got Untold Char and Glengar Loon and Racebury that does it to do and just made a bump, and that's surely a chance gone. But Coppice Sapphire, this odds-on player, is now shot 2 lengths clear. Bluebell Teddy is giving pursuit, but Coppice Sapphire, they knew about this. Coppice Sapphire wins. We're off and away, and not a bad start from Chamberlain Cape, but the early pace going to come from the outside, and that's Scared Josie who gets round in front. Scared Josie goes round, not much room there for Chamberlain Cape. He's going to have to work hard to get a position, as now Kilibert Hannah has come through, and Kilibert Hannah and Scared Josie go on there. 4 lengths clear to Brightford Lady. With it to now Chamberlain Cape, then we've got towards the rear field Claude Carros, who's got no run at all, and down Alice. But as they head towards the top of the home turn, Kilibert Hannah still keeps the 5 Scared Josie at bay. Kilibert Hannah digging deep to score. Kilibert Hannah will score. And we're off and racing, heading out there towards the first bend. Then Tin Up Lakes is showing well. Out wide is Domino. Hoo-hoo. And then we have Bonga Darling going down in third. There in advance, the Dream Porsche, followed by Emily Superstar. And at the back of the pack is Balimat Camilla. Down the back stretch, Domino. Hoo-hoo. From Tin Up Lakes in second. Then we've got Bonga Darling, who is starting to stay on. Dreaming Porsche looking for a seat, but has to go wide. Then we've got Emily Superstar at the back of the back. Is Banamat Camilla. Domino still in front from Bonga Darling. Domino is the winner.
The big 15 minutes for this young man here. We're talking about Tom Hilburn, of course, Newcastle trainer. Domino Hoo goes in the Angel of the North final. I mean, very lightly raced, but so much speed.
Yeah, she's got bags of early. We weren't even going to put her in the competition because of her season. She was just coming through the season. She impressed us at Sunderland. She won a decent race and a decent clock, so we said, look, we'll give her a go. She was impressive last week. She come forward again, and I think she'll come forward again, in terms of her staying this week. So it's all about get off the front. She's all about early. And if she leads tonight, the track's well. You never know, but she's got to lead.
You'd settle for the same result as last year?
Oh, without a doubt, yeah. It would be great to retain. It's a competition it was the first big competition I ever won. So I'd love to get off the front tonight and take a chance.
3 in the final, Northern Flat. Does that give you any sort of pressure, Tom?
Well, I try not to think about it. I'll be honest. We entered 6. We got 3 in the final. I'm over the moon. The dogs are running really well. It's a great final. And massive thanks to Time again, because they keep putting the money there. It's produced a good final, but probably is a little bit of pressure having 3 in the final. But I hope they just run the race, and if we get off the front with any of them, then we take a chance.
It's a special competition for you. Was this your first Cat 1?
It was, yeah. Pacemaker 10 in 2021, yeah. First one, and we've won it a couple of times with dogs that Pat trained for us. So it'd be nice to go and win it again.
Decent enough draws, except for unanimous Leon probably, but the 1 and the 6.
Yeah, I mean the Buckham dog wants one. He's got one. If he can hold his own to the turn, then race on. Deliverer's got a great draw. Unanimous Leon might not be as bad as people think. He was a save when we first got him, and he's got a ping break in him. So let's hope he comes out one of the bars.
I talked to Savile Roberts a little bit earlier, spoke to Ted Stop here, a few other trainers as well. Good to see a buzz here tonight.
Oh, this is what dog racing is all about, isn't it? It's a great night here, big crowd, and hopefully we can go away with a big one.
Tom, all the best.
Thanks very much, appreciate it.
Star Sports are offering 50% of your stake back via the split second offer tonight. That's a free bet if your greyhound finishes second in any race. That includes these feature races coming up at Newcastle this evening, so do get involved if you wish to. It's a really big, what are we talking, 20 minutes, Tom Hilburn, because he's got 3 in the Northern Flat, but he's got, of course, Domino Hoo. I can't say it as Ian Brindle does.
Oh, no.
Who's a big player on the outside here.
She certainly is. This is a very, very... It's more wide open than 11-8 favourite Copy Sapphire, purely on the drawdown. If she was in 1, then she'd be even money 4 to 5. But she's got to try and get a clear run here, and it's not going to be easy with Domino Hoo who looks set to lead on the outside. I just thought Killiford Hannah could turn in the closest position to Domino Hoo, and if she manages to do so, I thought she could batter her. Now 33 to 1 was an anti-post selection, 4 ground race in UK. You got to put them out there, so as long as people are following, people might be sitting on a nice ticket here at 33. So she's 9 to 2 now with a great draw on the inside. But roll out the rest of your peril. Bluebell Teddy, Scared Josie, Bogger Darling. We heard Sava say that there's a big run in Bogger Darling. He thinks that could come tonight. So yeah, fantastic final. We expect Domino Hoo to lead. He said what turn to where. If Copy Sapphire turns second, she'll win. But she's a guarantee to get a run in. There's plenty of early pace around her.
Yeah, listen, I've napped Copy Sapphire. I like what she does into the third bend, but I agree with Sapphire. I think Bogger Darling at a price is just too big. There's a lot to like about her. What are we talking? 14 to 1. She's the outsider. Can anybody give me 3 places, please? I haven't seen any. It'd be very nice.
Yeah, should be a decent price.
Yeah, absolutely. So Copy Sapphire 11 to 10. Of course, Roy Smith is taking on the locals, isn't he? Here, the unattached Roy Smith with Killiford Hannah, trying to break up this sort of Newcastle party here.
Yeah, and you see Killiford Hannah's Pelor form. 25.50 at Star Pelor he's not to be sniffed at. And wins over 5.90 as well. So she's very versatile in what she can do. And now she's probably found that trip in between the 4.35 and the 5.90.
Yeah.
So she's found a 4.80 galloping track here. And look, she led Copy Sapphire in the first round and got beat by her comfortably in the end. It was a bit of a surprise, really, when she did lead to see her get beat by that. But she's She's got every chance on the inside, and a greyhound of the year, Darrell, who is leading the parade here.
Yeah, do you know what? I bumped into one of Koulavani Auntie's ex-owners a bit earlier on, and I'm not even sure they realised that she was here, but she is there. There is Auntie. She was just so good, wasn't she, for Andrew and Jimmy back in the day?
Certainly was. And she won this competition, Angel of the North. She won this.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
She was there of the year. She was she was bitch of the year.
She won the Emperor Stakes at Toaster.
She was ground of the year.
Yeah,
of course as well. So
which was slightly unexpected. I think that was the year might have been the year we were at Sheffield, but
it was, yeah.
But yeah, I think when the name was announced, there's a few people were surprised. But anyway, let's have a look at
winner.
The superstar that she was. Yeah, 3 steps, as you say. So good to see her on parade. And here is Killiford Hannah, who's your pick. Joe, tell us more.
Yeah, Killiford Hannah, she's had 8 victories in 9 seconds in 26 runs. She's a lovely looking bitch. July 22 for Roy Smith. Brilliant Pelor Grange form, star Pelor form. She's now transferred that to Newcastle. She was fastest heat winner last week in 28.64.
Bluebell Teddy got a fantastic start to win the first round of this competition. A massive price if she could get loose. It's not easy, but 11-1, there could be something.
Could be. She was a big price behind Copy Sapphire last week and ran really well to lead to the third bend.
Yeah, Copy Sapphire should sit handy and then hopefully use that good kick from the third bend for Jimmy Fennett's won 4 of her last 5. She is absolutely hitting peak form at the moment. She is 5-4, so we go to Scared Josie, who's the third of the Fenwick team here. He's got a bit of a stranglehold on this race, and Scared Josie was a Puppy Derby semi-finalist at Toaster last winter and could still be improving, of course, out of her seasonal break.
She certainly could. Second to Killiford Hannah last week was a good run from her. She's got to try and come away here and lead.
Bugger Darling, of course, for Sava Roberts. I mean, I'd say, as much as I'm sweet on Copy Sapphire, I agree, overpriced. Where's the 14's gone? It's now 8-1. That didn't last, did it?
Listen to you, Darrell, and they've all took the 14-1.
Well, listen to Sava, Joe. He's the judge. And here is Domino Hoo-Hoo on the outside. For Ben Collins, it could be a crazy 20 minutes or so for Ben.
Extremely well bred, Darrell. Ballymount Bolger, Dolce Vita. We've seen plenty out of Dolce Vita, including Antigua Sugar, going back a few years as well. So extremely well bred. Domino Hoo-Hoo, more to come from her. We just heard Tom talking about the season there, where they suppressed her to get her ready for this, and she's getting stronger and stronger. She went from just tying up in the first round to holding on last week. She's going to have to do the same again today.
Yeah, she's getting quicker coming out of the boxes, as you say, and she could be a big player right on the outside here, but they make their way towards the boxes. They're just pushing Copy Sapphire out slightly because there is money coming for Killiford Hannah. There is money coming, we know, for Bogger Darling and a little bit for Domino Hoo-Hoo, suggesting, as you were saying, this is more open than it was initially.
Yeah, probably the right price is now around 13 to 8, 7-4 the field, and down a brilliant competition, steeped in history, the Angel of the North, and we've got another fantastic final here. Plenty of local runners as well. But let's hope next year we can change that again. We listened to the guys earlier, Ian, saying that we want to get them Southern-based trainers back here. Fantastic prize money for a Category 2. £7.5 grand put up by Arena Racing Company here. So a brilliant final. Good luck to all 6. Let's get them home all safely and may the best greyhound win. As we go over to Ian Brindle for the final of the Arena Racing Company, Angel of the North.
So the runners are going forward. Very warm welcome to our colleagues at Sky Sports Racing joining us ahead of this. Joining, of course, our colleagues at Gone to the Dogs. As the last run to go forward is Killiford Hannah, who won, of course, last week. This standing dish at Pelor goes into the red. They're all set. So Copy Sapphire, very strong favourite. Here comes the Bonnie the Star. Has given the flag a shake. And for the 2025 ARC Angel of the North final, the hare is on the move. Bottom spin then for race 10. They're off and away, and as they head towards the first turn, good start from Scared Josie's that well. Here comes Domino Hoo-Hoo. They're at advance of Bogger Darling, who tracks shining third. Then we have Killiford Hannah, and there's trouble there for Scared Josie, drops away. Domino Hoo-Hoo goes on by 3 lengths to Bogger Darling. Then we've got Scared Josie's trying to rally on the inside is Killiford Hannah. Then we've got Copy Sapphire, didn't get any sort of run. Bluebell Teddy at the back of the pack. Domino Hoo-Hoo being pressed by Scared Josie. Staying on the far side is Killiford Hannah. Here comes Scared Josie, Killiford Hannah. Photo, Killiford Hannah and Scared Josie in a photo. That's one for the judge.
Wow, what a finish. Killiford Hannah, maybe. Scared Josie gives herself every chance. It's a ding-dong to the line. We both thought maybe on one viewing it's one, but I want to see it again.
Yeah, it's a good final. I think she's got up Killiford Hannah. You know, Domino who's done her running, she just hasn't come away as well as she can. Scared Josie's took a flyer and gone to the bend. She's managed to clear that Domino who going in round the second bend, just chopped off Scared Josie. She's running.
Oh, that's close, Joe. I tell you what, look at that. I'm not sure now if that's bang on the line.
That's dead heat territory, Darrell. I still think one just, but we can't quite hear it.
How long is the nose?
It's so loud here. Look, there's 2.5 lengths between the whole field in the end. Bogger Darling tried to make her run down the far side, as did Coppice Sapphire. Didn't manage to do so, but a great run. What a brilliant final. You know, managed to clear off there. Look how well Scared Josie's ran after that trouble there. You know, people probably thinking she had to lead to win.
Yeah.
She's had the door closed on her by Domino Hoo Hoo at the second bend. Just checks up again there off the third bend, Darrell. Goes around the outside of her. Then you're looking for Killiford Hannah. She's got that 590p law form. Lou Bartelli staying on. But yeah, just going to the line and straighten up, and that is extremely close. If I had to say, I'd say one. I'd leave it to the judge.
You'll stick with that. But here's the results. Here's the photo.
Oh,
no, we're wrong. We're wrong.
Wow.
Scared Josie's won it. Jimmy Fennick has got a result here with Scared Josie for Neil McGregor. Here's Gal with live reaction.
Right, I've managed to catch Jimmy just as he come off the track. You must be absolutely delighted with that.
No, speechless. It's a big thing for me to be speechless. Excellent run. You know, 3 in the final. You know, you want more to do the best, and you know, she absolutely flashed the boxers. And the Pierce on the outside cut her off at the bend and going chasing. And I know she stays well this bitch, you know, and she's not going to give up. She's determined. And you know, got her head in front and stayed there. Track 1's run an absolute corking race, fantastic, and well done for Roy. He's nearly coming what he wanted to do, but you know, she's a great bitch this. And what's happened is she came in season. You know, we've run her through a season, and she's like hitting 12 weeks this week. To win a race like this in that fashion, at 12 weeks in season, just shows how much a good bitch she really is.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Jimmy. And you go and chat and celebrate. All right, well done. I'm so pleased for you. Take care. Thank you.
Wow, she's done that, and she's only 12 weeks out of season. Let's have a look at the head-on perspective. Mystic Coppice Sapphire, but you say plenty of pace from Josie.
Yeah, fairly clean run to the bend as well. Look, they're all. You know,
yeah, they've held their line.
Between all of them, isn't there? So
it's a good fair break for everyone.
Yeah, really good. That's nice to see as well. A clean run. Just here, Domino. She just chopped her off, didn't she? Going down the second bend. We don't quite follow it around there, but a good break from Scared Josie down the middle. A fantastic break as well for Domino Hoo Hoo. She's managed to show that cuss from the early speed we know she's got. She's just chopped off here, you know. But Tom's probably thinking deep down she's been beat what she's lost out of the boxes in the end. She's probably missed it 11.5 where. If she comes away down, she's probably 2 lengths clear here. So she might manage to hold on, but she's only that away because she's come away a little bit slower than Scared Josie. I was sure one had won still, but we just see the photo. They do favour the outside.
I was about to say, I still think one, but it is, of course, we've seen the photo. But, I mean, the run of Scared Josie, she's found plenty of problems en route. She's dug deep, and do you know what? With, another 3 or 4 weeks of peak form to come, where next to one? That'll be the question, won't it?
Jimmy puts her on the van to go to Monmouth for the Gold Cup, maybe. You know, she's going to be another 4 weeks down the line there. There's
quite decisive, actually, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's a clear nose in the end, and you know, it can be deceiving, can't it? We know that. Look, we call plenty of photos, Darrell, and we probably get plenty wrong because they're so hard deceiving like that. But I was sure Killiford Hannah would. She's run a huge race, Killiford Hannah. You know, to get as close as she had, and you know, Roy will be really, really proud of her. But yeah, we'll go and join Hobbs. He's got to be with some delighted connections.
Thank you very much, Joe. Yeah, down at the presentation podium, the night 4, Jimmy Fennick just gets better. Jimmy, it's another winner on the podium. There's plenty of pictures to be taken. You are once again a winner tonight. The Arena Racing Company Angel of the North has gone to Scared Josie. So game.
Yeah, so game. You know, fantastic bitch this. You know, she's come a season at the wrong time for us, Jonathan. We thought we'd just run her through a season, keep her fitness up. You know, she's won this competition in 12 weeks. You know, fabulous, really good bitch. But she had to come out and she had to lead race if possibly could. 6 is like, she's led out the traps, but the 6 has got so much pace. And cut across at the bend and down the back, you know, can you get there? But I just you know, thought she was gaining. And then, you know, I was getting excited to come off the 4th bend, and when she led, I thought, oh, she's going to go and win. And then Roy's bitch came from nowhere and nearly won, like, so
I'm getting told you're having pictures taken. I'm being drafted away. So while they have the presentation for the Angel of the North, I'm just going to have a chat with Tom Mackerel. Tom, of course, did such a great job with Fan Cave during the Toaster Derby. We had some really good nights there. I remember final night with Tony Cottee went down a storm. That was a good experience, I would imagine.
Yeah, we learned a lot actually from being in this scenario with a different type of fan where we can really kind of go and do what we want to do and engage with fans properly, which was really amazing for us to kind of try other stuff. And Tony was great, obviously, gets the fans in, knows what he's doing, and a completely different scenario to horse racing, but at the same time we've really learnt a lot of how we can really engage properly with fans going forward.
So we've got to get a Newcastle player here for the All England Cup here or next year's Northern Flat.
Absolutely. I mean, don't know who we get down from there, from the old Geordie boys, but yeah, that would work really well, wouldn't it?
A past player.
A past player? Well, Shearer would be great, wouldn't he?
We'll have to find out what he's doing. What's happening in the world of Fan Cave? A big horse racing event coming up. Happens to be a
Yeah, well, we've had really great support from ARC. They love what we're doing and they really got on board with what we're trying to do, which is that sort of fan engagement piece and, you know, trying to get insights to people that are going racing, whether it's greyhounds or horses. So we've got a really big event coming up for the St Ledger where we're going to be doing 3 days, all being well. A massive area where we deck out a fan zone. We've got trainers, jockeys, syndicates, different software partners involved. It's going to be a really interesting day for a punter to really grasp on kind of what's happening over the 3 days.
You're across it all. One line, how do people get involved?
Actually on the day?
Just in contact on social media?
Oh, yes, yes. Oh, yeah. Social media, we're at Bet Cave. So anyone that wants to kind of get us involved in a racing day, get in touch and we're keen to get involved, yeah.
Tom, thank you very much.
Thanks, Obsy.
Yeah, do check that out because that was brilliant, wasn't it? Toaster and the guys, as you heard, are going to be back. Now, Sked Josie at 6-1 for Jimmy Fennick. He's won plenty. He's had plenty of success in the Northern Flat in recent years. Now he's won the Angel of the North. Killiford Hannah beaten that tiny margin. Your anti-post pick, Joe, so close.
Yeah, good hits. You know, if people followed and backed her at 33s, and
hopefully each way, yeah.
Hopefully they backed her each way. You're probably watching going over the line thinking she's won. And then you can see the picture. She's unfortunately been beaten, but she's run a huge race. You know, she's run a massive race. A brilliant final.
Bet Goodwin, proud sponsors of Gone to the Dogs.
Bet Goodwin, Bet Goodwin, Bet Goodwin.
So we are getting close, aren't we, to the Time Greyhound Nutrition Northern Flat Final Category 1 race, £12,500 contest, but also the Prestige. Shall we have a look at the semi-finals?
Have a look.
Yeah.
And we're off and away, and Jack Tavern Chief has missed it badly as they go to the first turn. It's going to be Hardwick Mighty and Deliveroo who go on, and now it's Bramble Elvis into third, followed by Jack Tavern Chief, who's got it to do. Then we have Optic Fair at the back, he's Folly Hill Pad. But Hardwick Mighty, who's got a rich history around here, leads by 2 lengths to Deliveroo. Jack Tavern Chief is trying hard to get back into this contest and that terrible start, but down the stretch, Hardwick Mighty and Deliveroo have gone clear, and Hardwick Mighty all out will hold Deliveroo. And we're off and racing, heading towards the first turn. A great start from Droopy's Bookham was out a lot quicker this week, but it's going to be Holly Hill Gonzo who clears a lot of them. But it's Droopy's Bookham who now gets to the front, so Droopy's Bookham by 4 lengths to Knocker in second. Then we've got on the outside Jack Tavern Lab. Wobbling up now is Salika Slick as they head towards the top of the home turn. Droopy's Bookham by 2 lengths to Knocker, who is staying on, but it's Droopy's Bookham who will go on to score. And we're off and away, slowly away with Jacko's Bonner, but Slingshot Shaz has come out with a Rero rattle. So Slingshot Shaz goes round in front, no room for Unanimous Liam, who now is passed by Trooper McAvoy. So Slingshot Shaz it is, going 3 lengths to Trooper McAvoy. Unanimous Liam trying to stay on again. Then we've got Jacko's Bonner, but as they approach the penultimate turn, Slingshot Shaz still has 2.5 lengths on Unanimous Liam, and Slingshot Shaz staying down this near side is powering clear. Slingshot Shaz beats Unanimous Leo. They are the 2 qualifiers for next week's Final here next Thursday evening.
Welcome back, guys. Going to chat to Brian Fairbairn ahead of Clonard Ice running in the Arena Racing Company stairs. We'll have a chat about Slingshot Shaz as well. But Clonard Ice, second in the Corncoon Cullinan Island, comes over with a reputation. How's he go?
I think he needs to trap. He's not been trapping the best over there. He seems to be trapping quite good in a couple of sprints we gave him. So hopefully he gets a clear run round the first bend. I think if he does, he's got a right chance.
And Shaz?
Same again. If he leads the corner, beats 1 and 2 up, he's got. It's game on, innit? So,
and great to see Gazza winning.
Oh, he was brilliant tonight. Great performance for him. He's got good early pace. Struggles to stay the trip, I think, but he got there, so good.
And Gazza brings me to this gentleman here, Trevor Benjamin. I think Leicester and Watford and a number of other clubs. You're coaching Trevor these days at Sunderland. Good mates of Craig.
Yeah, no, great. Yeah, great mates. We've been mates for a few years. Both of our kids was up trial at Burnley, so we're going quite well. So it's good to be here.
Was Craig any good? Craig Armstrong? Was he a good player?
Yeah, he was very good. He's better than me, you know what I mean? So that's between us lot. Don't tell no one else, you know what I mean? So
this fella was pretty good as well, wasn't he?
I was all right. Not as good as him, but.
And what are you doing these days?
So I coach at Sunderland. We run a family-run business, so we do a lot of stuff. And I coach my junior teams, which Craig invited us there. So I brought all the junior teams here, and they're having a great day.
I think I've just interviewed a few of them as well. So what's their team again?
Yeah, it's Bedlington Terriers. Yeah. So they're going mad. They're a mad one. So if you see a mad few kids running around, they're mine.
Who's in defence? Who's in midfield? Who scores a goal?
That's it. Yeah. And I'm defending. I'm attacking against them as well. Do you know what I mean? So I understand.
Now I understand that there's a chance of a slingshot Trev in the offing after this, gentleman. Yeah.
Definitely, that's what they're saying. So I'm not quite. I didn't know about getting my money out, but yeah, we'll have a go. You know what I mean? So
you're enjoying a night of sport. Anyway.
Oh, thank you. Cheers,
guys, and good luck, Brian.
Thanks very much. Cheers. All the best.
Now, Time Greyhound Nutrition, of course, are our sponsors of the Northern Flat Final. And if you're a trainer, if you're an owner, you'll know all about their product. You can find more details, of course, on the website. But it's new low-protein nut for high-meat diets. I love the bit of the football chat. Oh, there's a bit of a superstar. That is Brookside Ritchie, of course, who won this very race 2 seasons ago with Jimmy Feddick. Was with David Mullins, then went to Jimmy.
Yeah, the Poppy Cup winner at Romford with David.
Yeah.
And of course, Northern Flat winner here with Jimmy. And a fantastic ground he was. As we go through the parade, Darryl.
Yeah, and his troop is Bookham. You know, the big, strong finishing greyhound. He's the one that's going to be in the wing mirrors of everybody as this race unfolds, Joe.
Yeah, he's the strongest runner. He's got his draw on the inside. Tom will be delighted with his draw. Derby semi-finalist. He's a massive, massive player.
And here's Naokra with John Flaherty. Used to be with Michael Connolly. I think still involved in the ownership as well here. Naokra.
Yeah, local runner, you know, was well fancied at the start of the competition as well, and hasn't managed to get his head in front so far, but rule him out your peril.
Slingshot Shaz would be, you know, a really nice result for the Connections, of course, after the demise, the loss of Slingshot Sam after the first round. So we wish him well for Brian and for Craig.
Yeah, they wouldn't. We keep saying there wouldn't be a dry eye in the house, Darryl. If Slingshot Shaz can do the business, and good luck to all involved.
Stephen Cowell's got a runner here for the Bloomfields. This is Hardwick Mighty, who ran and reached the final of the All England Cup and is in probably his favourite box. Look at that split last week when he won the semi, 28.46 from trap 4. He flies out of the 4 box.
4.47, fastest semi-final winner as well. 5-1. He was much bigger in the week, Darryl. He was 9-1 start of the week. And now we're going on to a big prize tag, 8-1 unanimously on.
Yeah, second in the Classic, second in the All England Cup. I mean, he's hit that crossbar more times than the unluckiest footballer around.
And listening to Tom, he's not too concerned with the draw, because if he can take a pink break, he's got the early, and he might be able to clear.
And we're about to see Deliveroo, of course, for Ben Collins and for Tom Hilbron, who, you know, if you dissect his form, Newcastle is where he does his best racing.
He certainly does, and he was a big price today as well. He was around 9-2, 5-1 at the start of the day. They just looked too big, Darryl, on the draw. 5 railers, a lovely wide seat. He's going to keep himself out there. Another one out of Ballymat Bulge with Dolce Vita. We've seen in the last race as well, that breeding. It's fantastic breeding. So a little brother and sister Domino who went close from 6. Can Deliveroo go better?
Yeah, talking of little mates, of course, Bookham is Plunge's brother on the inside, the Derby winner. Look at this betting. The 6 is now favourite, Deliveroo.
Yeah, again, it's probably about right, though, 11-4 the field, Darryl. 5-2 now for Deliveroo, and It's a very good final. You know, there's a lot of depth in this. As we said with Unanimous Leon, who's made big race finals, hasn't managed to get over the line as of yet. Droopy's Buckham was absolutely ungodly not to finish in the first three in the Derby semi-final when he was coming to finish there.
Oh, you're telling me, Joe.
So, you know, this is a really good race. Niokra, a fantastic local. Slingshot Shaz, capable of 28.40s. Hardwick Mighty, capable of 28.40s as well. And Deliveroo, who of course ran in the plate final. We've seen him go deep in the Derby. Very, very fast dog. He's got a great draw here. More money now, 9-4.
And we're both on the 6, are we here? We're agreeing? Deliveroo?
Yeah, Deliveroo. He was the one that put up for Ground Racing UK at 14s as well, anti-post. So we've hit the inside of the post, the other post in the final, rolled across the line and been kicked away. Let's see if we can go one better with Deliveroo. Again, good luck to all 6 in what is a brilliant final.
Do you know what? This race is nearly as old as Graham Racing Day. We celebrate 99 years of Graham Racing, 1927. At Bellevue, of course, for so many years. It's only been here in recent seasons, but is now getting re-established, which is absolutely fantastic.
And next year, the 100th year is going to be extra special, but we're here for the 99th year Ground Racing, the Time Grand Nutrition Northern Flat Final, as they go into the boxes, and we head over to Ian Brindle.
In Trap 6 proving very popular, and of course Droopy's Buckham, who reached the semi-final of the Derby as his supporters. He'll try to come from behind. Starter has checked them over, so this is the final of feature race this evening at Newcastle, and the hare is on the move. So Bunny spin for the big final of the night. They're off and away. Not the best start from Nokra as Slingshot Saz goes to the inside. Slingshot Saz with Nokra. Look out for Droopy's Buckham just in behind the leaders as out wide unanimously and gets the run. There's all sorts of trouble, and it's Nokra who's managed to get back to the front with Hardwick Mighty. Droopy's Buckham now needs to try and find a way through. May not be able to do so as Hardwick Mighty goes on. Hardwick Mighty from Nokra out wide. Deliveroo staying on his Slingshot Saz. Droopy's Buckham, nothing from him. Then we've got unanimously, and it's Hardwick Mighty all out from Nokra. Nokra got there. Nokra didn't win a single heat on the way here, but he's won another big prize for John Flaherty and the Conleys. Nokra defies the market drift to win the 2025 Northern Flat Final.
Half of the restaurant has exploded here. I think there are a few tickets on Nokra. For the Conleys, of course, Michael Conley at Peeler was the trainer. John Flaherty's taken charge. Neokra, as Ian said, you know, didn't win a heat. Let's have a look at this again. Pull this apart, Joe.
I don't think you can, Darryl. There's loads going on. Neokra come away while Slingshot Shaz desperately lucky not to clear. Then unanimous Leon's trying to drive the bend and go around in front. He's had his legs taken away. You're thinking here, Hardwick Mighty goes on. Deliveroo's going to come round the outside and swoop and win. But Neokra is strong running type, capable of 28.20s, Darryl. We've seen him come from off the pace. We've seen him run really well in defeat here, staying on beyond Droopy's Buckham and Deliveroo. He's just managed to get to Hardwick Mighty on the run to the line there. A desperate final. Droopy's Buckham not beat far in the end. Deliveroo not beat far. So much going on, Darryl. We see the head on here. Slingshot Shaz moving across towards lane 2, lane 1. That gave Hardwick Mighty a lovely run. Unanimous Leon, who's kept a fairly straight line on the run to the bend. But yeah, brilliant head on there. Gail, connections must be absolutely thrilled.
Yeah, I've caught up with John Flaherty, and he's the calmest man in the stadium. Come on, tell us what you're really thinking.
Yeah, I'm obviously excited about him, but I'm winning, you know, but it's you try not to get too excited when you're handling the dog, you know, because they can feel it. So been in this game long enough to, you know it's no first big success, so it's
Amazing. You're the Northern Flat winner. That's fantastic. And he seems to have won at a lot of tracks, hasn't he?
He has. He's been a great wee dog for the owner. You know, I've not had him terribly long. He came into his, and I think he was just after an injury. And as I say, he's really thrived. So, long may it continue.
Well, you've done a great job. Well done. Go and celebrate. Go and get excited.
Let's have a look at this again, and as you say, 3 Slingshot Shaz's headed across to the inside, but let's try and track the path here. Now on the inside, the eventual winner got round, then got squeezed.
Yeah, he probably had his own momentum stop, Darryl, with Unanimous Leon.
Yeah.
He stopped Unanimous Leon, but he's probably stopped himself in doing that as well. That then allowed Hardwick Mighty to go on. Then you're looking at Deliveroo thinking he's going to stay on wide.
He had one hand on the trophy, didn't he, Hardwick Mighty?
He certainly did, but you just see there Deliveroo's trying to make his move. Neokra moves off with him off the 4th bend and just maybe stops him there. You see there, look where Neokra is with Deliveroo off that run there. Hardwick Mighty's on the inside, Droopy's Buckham staying on well. Slingshot Shaz could be the hard luck story in the race. when you think about how far he's been beat in the end. But a fantastic final, you know. There was a little bit of trouble. It was clean enough, though, and a great performance from Neocra to get back up and win. Very, very, very good, sir.
An amazing race for the Time Greyhound Nutrition Northern Flat Final. It's lived up to all its pre-race billing, and of course a great night for Scotland. You know, John Flaherty, son of Pat, who had so many great dogs through the years, and you know, we've seen the success with Craig Armstrong and with Brian Fairbairn tonight. It's pretty much Scotland's night here in the northeast, Hobbsy.
What a fantastic success, Dale. What an amazing race, and with Michael Connolly, the owner of Neocra. And you guys go back with the Flahertys a long, long way.
Oh, yeah, way back years and years ago to the flapping tracks. Pat was in a kennel that I was in the flapping tracks 40 years ago. So I knew Pat very well. And then I've known John at Shawfield. And then just about January this year, I gave up my licence. I took on the breeding part. And John's doing the training for me now. So I've got about 6 dogs with John. I gave my litter of pups up on Monday. They're all 12 weeks old. And I'm going over to Ireland next week to get the other bitch mated as well.
We better go over to the presentation podium. But I'll walk with you. I'll walk with you because I noticed you throughout the evening, Michael, walking up and down with the pram. Is that your granddaughter?
That's my granddaughter, Alva. She's quite an unusual name, Ailbthe. I think it was nerves with me, but she wouldn't go to sleep, so we're trying to get her to sleep. But hopefully she'll sleep in the car on the way home.
Just distracted you in terms of the build-up of nerves throughout the night. Yeah.
Definitely.
I think you've earned the win for what you've been doing this evening.
Nah, that's the man there that's earned it.
Go and get the trophy. Well done to John Flaherty, of course, trainer of Neocra, just being given a helping hand by Willie Rigney of Time Greyhound Nutrition, proud sponsors of the Northern Flat for the second year running. All smiles at the presentation podium. Just a very quick word with Ian, appreciation of that. What a great race.
Phenomenal race. I'm delighted for John. He's recently joined the track. Neocra's been a real good servant. He's run a few graded races here. Good to see. Won a Merits night, won a cracker, and it's been a brilliant night's racing, and I'm over the moon for him.
It certainly has. We'll catch a word with them in a minute. Thank you to Stadium Manager Ian Walton. Back to you guys.
I'm just thinking, Joe, you know, along the way we saw a lot of strong favourites get the job done, but these finals tonight, they've both been so competitive, and I think for a lot of us they've probably sprung a result or results that we weren't necessarily expecting.
Yeah, possibly, and you see the distances that they've won by, Darrell, and Nose in the Angel of the North, and what's that there, half a length, maybe 3 parts of a length that Neocra's won. Look,
that's fantastic. Look at
the
that.
Finals were competitive. We said that before, and the favourites were shorter than they should have been going into the finals. We've had 2 fantastic races there. Yeah, brilliant way to finish the card with Neocra there winning the Time Greyhound Nutrition Northern Flat. And I want to give a word to Willie Rigney, Shane and Maria as well, who put in so much money in sponsorship, especially in recent months. There's been every other week we see a competition sponsored by Time. So massive, massive credit to Willie, Shane, Maria and all the guys with Time Greyhound Nutrition. And fair play to them. Hopefully they can continue sponsoring all these brilliant competitions.
It was the 88th running of this Northern Flat, as I say, first run a year after Greyhound racing started. 99 years ago today, as we know. Neocra wins at 9-2 and beat Hardwick Mighty at 6-1, and Deliveroo, the favourite, finished in third. So, trying to take it all in, let's have a look at the winners just to remind ourselves as to what happened. And as I say, a lot of the short ones went in. You know, there'll be multiple ACCAs out there with the likes of Gaza and Beleza and Gracie maybe as well, and Jack Tavern Chief. But, you know, your eyes are drawn to the last 2 results there, and it just shows how tough it is to win a Northern Flat, how tough it is to win an Angel of the North.
We finally got the times there. We haven't had them all now. We've got the times there.
35, yeah.
So yeah, Jack Tavern Chief 28.35. Blackhouse Louis 28.37, Slingshot Gaza 46.
Hoffer very close to the clock as well, yeah.
Yeah, 8 spots off. As we go back to Hobbsy. Hobbsy, who you got?
Have a quick chat with the guys, have a quick chat with Willie Rigney. Willie, that was a fantastic race for the Time Greyhound Nutrition Northern Flat final.
Well, indeed. Well done to John and all the connections there. He ran very, very well. And he said
thanks God, he said he got over the second itis, but it was a great run, great final, like, and it was a close race all over, like, you know what I mean? What could you say? But class oozes and class wins, doesn't it? Yeah.
You stay there, Willie. Just have a very quick word. I know Gail caught up with you, John, at the pickup. That was a sensational roller coaster race. What was it like to watch?
It was, but that's the type. He's a hardy wee dog, you know, and you never beat with him, like, you know what I mean. So, and he's been a bit unlucky in the heats in the semi, you know. He got lost a bit of ground and that. So I was always a wee bit confident with him, you know, just to get a clean run. But as it turned out, he didn't get a clean run. So
I get exactly what you say. The type of dog. Once it became a battle, you knew that he was not going to be found wanting.
Well, that was it. He was always going to battle, you know. He's came from behind a few times. He surprised us, you know. But he's a good, genuine wee dog.
Great for this man next year, Michael.
Oh, he's a great year. He won the maiden derby as well. He won Sardar as well. So he's had a good year.
And what sort of plans would you have for Knockra?
Probably, if he's all right, we'll go to Monmore, I think. I've got a couple of the young dogs that coming back from off. We'll suit Monmore, so probably go to Monmore.
Back here for the All-England?
If you're there, if you're fit, you'll go for it, you know. It's as simple as that. If they're there, they'll go.
Great stuff. John Flaherty, final word to you, Willie. Busy 48 hours, of course. Back to Shelbourne Park.
Yeah, we're back to Shelbourne tomorrow night. But listen, thanks to everybody here. Thanks to Ian, yourself, the whole lot, the whole crew there. It has been a fabulous night. Great attendance. Great to see, as I said, racing live and strong in the north of England. Good competitive racing there tonight. These guys like to have a punt and have the fun. It's all what greyhound racing is about. And what that's about, hopefully we're about, and what we're about, we'll try and sponsor them.
Thanks again for your support, not just to Gone to the Dogs, but greyhound racing in general.
Oh, greyhound racing in general, listen, it's our life. That's what we make our livelihood by, and we believe in putting something back in. But thankfully up here, we've been well patronised, well looked after, and the hospitality. And it's great to see that. I'm enthused to see that the life and the sport that's up here.
Let's head to the bar.
We will, yeah. I'll buy.
Good man.
It's our life, he says, and he's so right, isn't he? Willie Rigney from Time Greyhound Nutrition, because at the end of the day, and these guys are putting the miles in. I'm just thinking, John Flaherty, you know, backwards and forwards, not the only one putting the hard yards in.
Yeah, Brian Fairbairn as well, they're all Scottish based, and you know, you've got to do it, Darryl. You want to be successful, you've got to do it, and look, it goes unnoticed how many miles these people and the hours they put in do. So yeah, this is a brilliant sport. We've had a great night. I'm so glad we come here and done this, just to see the passion that people have got in the North East Full Racing. We knew it. You know, people who maybe haven't seen the show too much and seen much of North East Racing, they can now see what it means to people of this part of the country.
And if you got the buzz back, if you want more, oh, we've got more. There it is. It's only a week Saturday, not long to wait, of course, for the Coral Sussex Cup and the Premier Greyhound Racing Regency Finals. They're going to be absolute belters, and I was about to say we will be there. Football season kicking off.
Cup day for me. That
Probably
day,
the FA Cup in August,
yeah,
Joe.
we're in the FA Cup.
July.
We're in the early rounds FA Cup, so yeah, hopefully we can do the business. But I will certainly be watching, Darryl.
Absolutely. Listen, we can't wait to be with you a week on Saturday. And the good news, of course, is that Danny will be back. I was going to say in this chair. There's no chair. You do this job. You don't even get a chair. I can't believe it. My feet are killing me as well. But we get that sorted. We are back then a week on Saturday. Hope you've enjoyed our programme tonight, and we'll see you in just over a week's time. Good night.